And with that, I've got word that the runner is ready. Kuro, show us what you got. The world ends with you. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kuro. This is Mr. Mew, who you should probably know. And this is The World Ends With You Final Remix. This is the definitive version of the classic released on the DS. Fortunately, I'm not here alone, and I'm not referring to Mr. Mew. If you watched the Astral Chain run, you've already been introduced, but Arete, if you will.
Hi, you can pronounce my name however you want, I don't really care. I'm Arete. I run the original DS version of this game, as well as the recent sequel, Neo: The World Ends With You. And I'm here to commentate with Kuro, as the resident The World Ends With You expert, you could say.
Yep. So this game is very iconic, one of which is known mostly for its music. We actually had a bid war for the soundtrack between the original and remix versions. I believe one got trounced, but Shout, do you have a final confirmation just to ensure which soundtrack won?
All right, bringing that up here right now. We've got, by a considerable margin, the original soundtrack has taken the win.
Very nice. So we will be listening to the original soundtrack. This is the soundtrack you can actually find on Spotify if you are interested in listening to any of it later. So this is the any percent normal category. That just means any percent, just beat the game as fast as possible. We will only be using the normal difficulty or difficulties higher, so we have to be at least normal. There's one exception to that, but we'll get to that when it comes. So before we start the run, I actually need to start the first trick before time even starts. I need to set the clock. I need it to change to midnight at a very particular moment. I've got like a 2-minute window for this to work. So yeah, in 52 minutes, I'm already thinking ahead, and I need to be at a certain point when the clock hits midnight. So after I do this, I'll have to reconnect my Joy-Con, and then I'll do a 3, 2, 1, go countdown to start time. So let's get into it. All right. Okay, so if we're all good, and I'll do a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so as I said, this is the definitive version. There are a total of 3 versions of this game. The original TWEWY was released on the Nintendo DS. Then that was ported to mobile in the form of Solo Remix, and that mobile port was ported to the Switch. This game, Final Remix. The DS version had a really cool way of doing combat. The player would control one character on the bottom screen with touchscreen controls, and another player on the top screen with the buttons at the same time. It's pretty overwhelming, but it's really cool once you get it down. However, you may notice a problem when it comes to bringing it to mobile. Phones only have one screen. So what they had to do is take the dual screen combat and truncate it down to one. So it was just the touchscreen part with some added flair. Then came Final Remix, and in handheld mode, where the Switch is undocked, it's just a tablet, so everything's fine. It actually translates over. However, in docked mode, what we're playing here, I don't have a touchscreen. So the solution to that was the Joy-Con. A single Joy-Con. You use it like a Wiimote, I'll have a cursor and everything. It'll make a lot more sense once we get into actual gameplay. Anyway, this is our protagonist, Neku Sakuraba. He wakes up in the streets of Shibuya with no memories, and he finds he has a player pin, the thing I have on my mic right here, if you can see past the glare. It turns out this lets him scan people's minds. Coming up soon, he will later learn that he is in something called the Reaper's Game, which is a week-long event of survival. Every day, a mission will come up on the player's phones, and they'll have a timer. So every mission is timed. So they have to complete the mission within the time or face erasure. So here's a little bit in the combat. We're just introducing scanning. However, it's not just the missions. Players also must survive encounters against the noise, which are the monsters of this game. However, noise can only be fought if a player has two things: pins and a partner. Right now, Neku has none of those, so he can't fight. So the game teaches us to run away from combat. Hopefully we won't be seeing much of this, but yeah, this game is very forgiving. You can pretty much run from any fight, so very nice. So yeah, we also have an invulnerable dash, which will be very nice. Anyway, here's the intro. I'm just gonna let it play for a bit because it's cool. So we're not just watching all the cutscenes because I like them. Unfortunately, we cannot skip cutscenes in this run. That is a feature only unlocked after you beat the game once, and then go into post-game. I also can't skip dialogue, so I will have to mash through dialogue myself. So again, I'm playing with a single Joy-Con, so I have to mash on this bad boy. Yeah, let me make sure I'm showing this off. So just to show off how I do my mashing, I like wrap my bottom hand like this and put one thumb on the B button and another on the A button. And I press one button with so much force that it'll ricochet back into the other finger. So I just repeat that motion. So if you see me violently shake whenever there's text on screen, that is why. It is very physically intensive to do this. That's why we have a turbo category. We will talk more about that, but this is not the turbo category. This is without turbo. So I need to do the mashing. Anyways, so as we can see, we are gonna start to get into noise fights, and we will be introduced to our first partner and our first pin. Arete, you want to take over?
Yep. So here's Shiki Misaki. You may have seen her during the prize segment, since we have a doll of her. Now we are no longer maidenless. Shiki's gonna be our first partner in the game. She gives us one pin that we can use called Pyrokinesis. Pyrokinesis is one of the initial pins that have no brand and no special properties, and its power is just that, flames. The first two fights that you're gonna have to go through are against these basic frogs. First one is just that normal one, and you can just hold down the attack. But for this one, it's two frogs, and ideally what you want to do, if you can kill them in a single use, which is pretty good in that case, you can just tap the pin to use just a minimal amount of energy and keep the hitbox since it comes out in frame 1 or 2 or whatever, and just not have to wait for the pin to reboot, which is a universal mechanic that you're gonna see all throughout the run. Every pin has an energy bar. As you use it, it goes to 0, and then you have to wait for them to reboot. Pins have a lot of very specific properties, and there's a lot of them. We're gonna be focusing on just a small set of them, as you would expect from a speedrun. And for now, we don't have the choice to not use psychokinesis, or pyrokinesis rather.
Yeah, so the mission for today was to make it to the 104 building, which is right here. However, we were being ambushed by noise, so we finally get access to Shiki. So this is in single player mode. You'll see on the top right, I have a new pin. That is Shiki. So in the DS version, she would be controlled on the top screen and have like all of her own properties and stuff. But in Remix, she is relegated to just a pin. This will soon change, but this is just how she is for right now. Her attack right now is Mr. Mew Punch. So if you see that plushie that you've seen before, she uses that to attack. And you have to tap the enemy and Mr. Mew will start a combo. We'll see soon in the next fight that we'll be unlocking cross combos. Arete, do you want to talk about that?
Okay. So cross combos are the one-screen version of what would be the life pack in the original game, which would be some sort of rhythm game mechanic in which you finish a combo with one screen, it goes to the other as a ball of light, and then you get an extra attack bonus on the end of the next combo, and it keeps building up. In this case, what you have as a teamwork mechanic is if you attack with both the partner and Neku at the same time, you get this blue flash. It deals extra damage depending on how many you do in a row. And it also builds up the sync percentage on the upper right, which won't be relevant until day 3. But it's something that we'll be using also on the run.
So that was the end of day 1. So again, this is a week-long event, so that means we'll only see 7 days during the speedrun, right?
Yep, just a week.
Yeah, so anyways, there is more than just pyrokinesis, that one pin. So Neku can change his pins. There's over 300 pins in this game, and Neku can equip them for battle. We'll be introduced to the rest of the starter pins today. So as we were talking about, every pin has a different action. In the game, this is called a psych. So pyrokinesis, the psych was pyrokinesis. The starter pins don't have very unique names, or very creative rather. So we'll be introduced to a bunch of other ones. And so pyrokinesis was activated by dragging the screen. So imagine your finger is where the cursor is and you, drag. We will be introduced to other kinds. We'll be introduced first to tap pins. That will be Thunderbolt and Force Rounds. Alright, do you guys want to start talking about the 3 combats we'll be doing in the new pins?
Yep, no problem. So first off, we have tap, as Kuro mentioned. These are Force Rounds and Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, if you tap an enemy, it builds this lightning combo that just destroys them. And Force Rounds is a normal projectile that comes from Neku's hand and can easily juggle enemies, and it's going to be very useful for the early game. The lightning one, don't get used to it. We only see it here. It's really not great for combat. Then we go into the drag combat, if I'm not mistaken.
Psychokinesis, yeah.
You have pyrokinesis again here, but you also get introduced to psychokinesis, which is a whole kind of worms with obstacles that appear on the field. They can have different sizes and different damage values with different number of uses that you can use them for. And psychokinesis is the pin for that. You throw them at enemies. And finally, shockwave, which is slashing. Probably the trickiest one in this version in particular. But it's a basic sword pin that is used as a combo tool. And it's pretty good. Probably the highest DPS of the initial pins. And you can also overuse the little bar. Like it would be a stamina meter on a Souls game, if you catch the differences. I don't know. Anyway, Shockwave is gonna be very good, Force Rounds is also gonna be very good, and they are gonna be the main pins that we use after we get out of this and get the ability to actually equip pins.
Yeah, another factor with pins is their boot times. So if you notice in the Psychokinesis fight, we had Psychokinesis instantly, but Pyrokinesis still needed to boot up. So that's another factor that pins have. Sometimes they're able to be used instantly at the start of battle. Otherwise, they'll need to charge up. And whenever you use all uses of a pin, it will then go into reboot, which will then start its own timer to be recharged back to full. Here is Beat and Rhyme, 2 other players. We learned that, so as we said, the player pin allows you to scan people, but it doesn't work on players and Reapers. It should be noted, the Reapers game takes place on a different plane of existence. It's called the Underground, or UG. So they're pretty much like ghosts and completely undetectable to people of the real ground, RG. That would be people like you or me. We are considered RG residents. Anyways, we're done talking to Beat and Rhyme, and we unlock finally the kind of quintessential thing of Final Remix, which really makes a difference, and that is co-op mode. So as I said, in single player you only use one Joy-Con. However, you can pass your other Joy-Con to a friend to take control of Shiki. However, I will be playing both Neku and Shiki. That worked? Okay. I'll be playing Neku and Shiki at the same time. So I'm going to equip Shockwave and Force Rounds. Reta, do you want to talk about just combat? I'll stand up just so you can kind of see what's going on. So this is Neku, this is Shiki.
You're going to see Kuro just maneuver both of them like a director in an orchestra. Just killing things with both Neku and Shiki. This is very important. Shiki as a normal pin, as in tapping the enemy as we saw, is very, very weak. But Shiki as a co-op partner is incredible. Like the DPS that she gets, especially in Mr. Mew Lariat, which is the spinny move that you're gonna see against the one that is not available at the start, is just able to shred every single enemy in this week one. In this entire week that the game takes place on, no extra weeks. And it's gonna be the main tool that we use in combat for the entirety of the run, quote unquote. And of course, the choice of pins that I said is still standing. Shockwave and Force Rounds are the best possible tools that we have right now. Mainly because they are able to just keep enemies in hit stun, combo them until they die. Psychokinesis is the third best pin. It generally gets more DPS than every single other starter pin, but it depends on RNG in obstacles and stuff. So it's gonna be used, but it's not gonna be a universal thing that we want.
Yeah, so unlike Neku, Shiki cannot change the pins that she uses. So she's pretty much stuck with what she has. So while Neku, throughout the game, he will get more powerful pins and he can equip those, Shiki's stuck with what they have. So the developers just made her very good just to so she'll keep up throughout the entire game. Right now we have to set the cursed statue free. So we figure out we need to polish Hachiko. And now we're into this fight. This fight is cool. So most fights have random placements of enemies, but this one we know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna try and get everyone into a corner. I did not do that right. This might be fine. All right, not quite. I was supposed to lariat them all into the corner, but that worked. But yeah, lariat is going to be our best friend. It is a multi-hit attack, and for lariat, we really just want to let lariat do its thing and not have Neku interfere. When we cross combo, that causes the game to lag a bit. So cross combos are situational, sometimes not always the best. So once lariat loads up, Neku will just kind of stand still and just wait for lariat to do its thing and finish off the rest of that boss, quote unquote. It's not hard.
You can see how the entire health bar just disappeared by using lariat. It's just so good.
Yeah. So yeah, this is 1 player, 2 controllers. So this is kind of reminiscent of the DS game in the sense where you control both characters at once. But the co-op partner is busted. In the DS game, your partner can also be attacked and shares your health bar. The partner's invincible. So even though they're on the screen and stuff, you don't have to dodge with them because they won't take damage. So yeah, she is just very good. Co-op is extremely busted. And also, compared to single player mode, instead of only having Mr. Me punch, like that one pin on the top right, she has 3. So it just boosts her usefulness entirely. So this is not your standard RPG. So there's levels, you get EXP, you level up, but that's not how you get stronger. So your attack and defense won't change just from leveling up. You need to either equip threads, which is like the same thing as like armor and like other RPGs. Threads are clothing. So we'll have to go to clothing shops to get those, and eating food. So once we're out of this, we will get shops, and we'll buy our first thread for Shiki. However, you can't just wear anything. There are 6 types of threads. Headwear, top, bottoms, top and bottoms, so like a suit or a dress. Footwear and accessories. You cannot double up on them, so you can't wear 2 hats. Each character has 4 slots available for threads. And also, every thread has a bravery requirement. So bravery is another stat that these characters have. And your character needs to have more bravery than the bravery requisite of the thread. So Shiki starts with a lot of bravery. She starts with 110. bravery, Neku starts with 15. However, at the end of the game, my route that I have for this game, we want Neku to be very high bravery so he can wear really powerful threads. So he starts at 15, we need to get him to 152 bravery. Every time we level up, we get a point of bravery, so that helps, but the main way we'll be getting bravery is by consuming food. So while threads are a temporary boost to your stats, because, once you take them off, they're gone, food is forever, pretty much. So to eat food, however, is a bit complicated. So each character has 24 bites. That's, think of it like calories. It's how much they can consume. They'll have 24 bites per day. Here we're buying our first item, the ribbon bonnet. That is a headwear for Shiki. She gets 5 attack from it. We're not going to equip it just yet, but we'll equip it soon. So yeah, anyways, with food, you need to have enough stomach capacity to eat the food. And then you don't get the stat bonus just yet. You then need to digest the food. So every battle you do will digest 1 bite worth of whatever's in your stomach. And then once it is fully digested, you'll get the stat bonus. So Neku's digestion route will be extremely important throughout the run. We'll get our first food coming up after this. And yeah, so it'll be very important. But right now, that was Mr. H, otherwise known as Sane Hanekoma, and known by the fans as Coffee Dad. So yeah, he gives us the fusion pin. We're not going to use the fusion pin because it takes too long. Rade, if you want to talk about like the difference of the fusion pin in this game than before.
It's very specific. So in the original, every single partner had some sort of small minigame on their combo routes that they appear. Shiki had different symbols that could appear at the end of a combo, and if you match it with one that the game was expecting you to get, you get stars, and then with enough stars you could use level 1, level 2, or level 3 fusion. In this case, in this game, it depends on the sync percentage that we have on the upper right that deals with cross combos. And the other very important main difference and why it's so slow to use them is that you get a whole minigame to boost up your fusion attacks by doing, in this case, card matching. There's 1 pair of cards and you have to press them, and then you get a multiplier on the attack. Waiting out that minigame is very slow. Doing the minigame is just as slow. So in general, if you can finish any fight without having to do a fusion attack and going to the minigame, which also has an extra animation at the end, then you just don't want to use it. It will be used in very specific places for very specific strats, never as a combat finisher.
Yeah, the whole fusion attack in this game takes like 30 seconds. It's bad. So anyways, I just equipped Psychokinesis, so cars deal the most damage in terms of the Psychokinesis being good. So yeah, cars is what we like to see. We're guaranteed to have a car for that fight, so that's why we slot in Psychokinesis. So Psychokinesis has the same touchscreen command you have to as a Shockwave. They both involve slashing. So as you noticed, I put Psychokinesis in a sub-slot. So as you can see, some pins are translucent. It pretty much gives me 2 pin decks that I can switch between, just so they don't overlap. So right now I can switch between. Anyways, this is a pig fight. These will be very important. So these are fixed encounters. So this pig will always be here. And they have fixed drops. We'll talk more about drops tomorrow. A bit too much going on right now, but it drops money. And we need a lot of money throughout the game. But also, it's also a very easy fight, so that is 1 more bite digested, which is very useful. Anyways, we're coming up to our first wall mission, or our first main one. So in order to progress, there are literal invisible walls that are that we'll have to clear missions for, which is pretty much the game forcing us to interact with its like mechanics and whatnot, which is really not, I think, is a really like well done. But yeah, this one is fighting specific noise symbols. All right, I do want to talk about noise symbols and like the RNG with them.
Oh yes, every single area can have some different types of noises, so we are never guaranteed to have the ones that we want in particular. In this case, the game was nice enough to give us 2 of those. We call them wolf symbols. They don't have a real official name, but they have wolves usually, so we call them that. And yeah, if you don't get them, you may have to go around the area trying to find them, or maybe reset the area entirely. You are never guaranteed to have all the fights that you want. Also, we have to do them one by one right now. This will change a little later, but it'll be fine. It's another mechanic that we're gonna get introduced to soon enough.
Yeah, so that was really lucky with our placements. Sometimes we will have to search if we scan. So we have to stand still and do a scan in order to find noise. That was very nice. Sometimes it can be really bad. So anyways, we're going to talk to Beat and Rhyme and then fight a pig, but we are being introduced to memes.
Hell yeah.
I don't have the mental capacity to explain memes, so
I can do it, yeah. So, meme as in a piece of information, not internet meme or whatever. These are keywords that you get in missions in particular that you can then scan someone or talk to them really and imprint that meme, that word into their mind so they can do something that you want them to do. In this case, our mission right now is trying to fight the boss in A East, which is a console stage, the one we wake up in. And the lights are out and we can't see the boss. So our job is to gather memes to influence the tech that we quote unquote save, so we can make him do our bidding, aka make the boss appear. And that's pretty important because there's some extra words throughout every single day that you can use. And this one has 2 of them, and then the required one, which is here in the console stage, is fuse. Obviously, something went wrong in the lights, and that's the fuse. We have to find one to replace it. But we want to also take a small detour and scan a girl for cough drops. Cough drops are gonna be something that is not required, but gives us a pin later. That's gonna be very important. It's a completely optional thing, but the general cutscene time is gonna make it worth in the long run.
Yeah, so anyways, we were talking when we got the food, but we got ramen, particularly miso ramen for Shiki. That boosts her attack once digested. And we got the tonkatsu for Neku, which boosts bravery. We're buying some more bravery boosting food. We just bought the vanilla soft serve, which is really good. So as we said, with food, you only have 24 bites and you can't exceed that. However, all characters will have a bit of snack space. And that is, they have 6 bites worth of snack space. And that pretty much allows them to eat food, only small food. So we can eat as many vanilla soft serves as we like, even after we beat a total of 24 bites. So that'll be very useful. So the only way to reset your bikes is for the date to change. And if you remember at the beginning of the run, I set the clock to 11:08 p.m. So I want to get to a certain point in the run, have it switch to midnight, and that'll reset my bytes for Neku. So that'll be very important later. So right now we've finally finishing the day's mission, and yeah, so we just did the cough drop side quest, and we got the pin Lucky Star. This affects drop rate. Again, we'll explain this tomorrow, what drop means, but we're going up against the boss of the day. So this is Vesperatillo Cantor, or Cantor or Canor?
Canor.
Canor. So yeah, this was an iconic fight in the DS game where Cheeky will have to turn on the lights from the top screen. So she does that here. We have to do a combo. Let's see. So hopefully we can one cycle here. It's kind of tight, but it is possible. So I let Lariat go to its full extent, and then nice. I let Lariat go to its full extent, and then I cross combo in order to deal a lot of damage and to stall because of how it lags the game. So fortunately that went well. We got the one cycle. Otherwise, the boss would turn off the lights again. However, it turns out the real boss was the small bat, and Beat and Rhyme come to save the day. So the thing with missions is that not every player needs to complete the mission. So all the missions, so all the players are pretty much working together to make it to the end of the week. However, it is important to do the missions as you are graded. Technically, that will come into play later in the story. But anyways, Neku's been pretty abrasive thus far, but he's eventually opens up just a bit and decides to work as a team with Cheeky, Beat, and Rhyme. So day 4 is the day where Rhyme is the star of the show, for better or worse. And this is also when we are formally introduced to shopping. So our starter pins are unbranded pins, but in the game, everything has a brand. There are 13 brands, plus 1, because unbranded is not counted in the 13. And so all the stores have brands. So the ones where we got Cheeky's hat, the ribbon bonnet, that was Lapin Angelique, which is a very important brand. But brands have other things. So pins also have brands associated with them, and that's a good and bad thing. If you want to explain brand bonuses with the brand awareness.
So, for some reason, this game really loves the urban style and Shibuya thing. So every single area in Shibuya has a different ranking of 13 brands, with top 3 having benefits, and then the last one having the track. I don't know. Either way, every single pin that we have for the top 3 ranked brands will get a bonus pack up to double damage, which is extremely good, but you can barely control it. You may get lucky with it, I don't know. And then the last brand will get half damage. There are some specific biases for every single area. For example, 104 has D plus B, which is a shop here, usually be the top spot. But then we have some missions that require us to make one specific brand be the top one in an area. And we can influence that. So it's supposed to be that the more you use something, the more you influence the world to use that brand in particular. So if we keep using the same brand of paints, the same brand of equipment, we get extra bonuses. It doesn't really work out in a real speedrun. We're gonna have a strange mix of different brands, but for particular walls in particular days, we're gonna use some specific ones just to get through one of these wall missions.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, so we're doing a bit of shopping here. So we got stickers for Shiki, so that's another thing you can buy. Stickers are, I don't know, they're like permanent boosts, but not like food-wise. They're just, once you get the sticker, it applies. So we got alive shirts from Wild Boar. That just gives us more attack. But now we are having to do the next wall mission, which requires us getting certain drops. So I thought a pig here. It is good for the digestion route, first of all, but it also guarantees we level up, and that ensures that we'll get a certain drop. So do you want to quickly explain drop?
Yep. Every single drop has a specific percentage in every single difficulty of the 4 difficulties in the game. We're playing in normal, and what we want to hit is 100% on these blue frogs, the big one frogs. You can increase your drop rate by dropping your level from base to level 1 if you want to. that only drops your HP, not your other stats. So it makes it easier to die, but at the same time, it's gonna give you more drops. And since we need to force this with a 4 drop, since it's I think 30% drop.
Yeah, 30% base drop.
So with level 3, you can only get up to 90%, but with this we have it guaranteed. It's gonna be important for other parts. If you don't get the first drop in difficulty, it rolls down to the next difficulty and tries to get that one. It's a pretty complex system again that you can influence.
Yeah, we'll explain more later when it'll come up. So we got the 1,000 yen pins that we wanted. Coming up is a scene. It's known as Pants Off. Neku will have a button that's coming off of his shorts. And Cheeky is a seamstress. So this really irks her. So she makes Neku take off his pants in order to fix it. Again, none of the other people who are walking by can see them, but Neku is very embarrassed by it. So we got another pin slot. So Neku can have up to 4 pins in his pin deck. And yeah, that's what we want. And also Shiki finished her miso, so I need to feed her again. So yeah, he can have up to 6, so we are guaranteed 4 by the story, but we have to go out of our way to collect materials in order to buy the stickers that gives us more pin slots. Anyways, here's Rhyme's time to shine. If you really like this character on the right, maybe avert your gaze for a little bit.
Oh, every single time.
Every single time. Yeah. Oh, anyway, a shout out to the World Ends With You animation. They made the scene pretty cool.
For one thing that the anime did better,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
It does some scenes right. Anyway, so the Reapers have ambushed Beat, and Rhyme pushed Beat out of the way and took the brunt of the blow, so she is erased. So remember, in order to fight the noise, you need pins and a partner, and Beat no longer has a partner. So we try and protect them by taking care of the small noise first. As you saw, Lariat was really good there. All the enemies grouped together, and we were able to Lariat through them.
That's how it's done.
And now we take out the shark. So Mr. H, aka Sane Hanikoma, aka Coffee Dad, comes to save the day. So Beat should be dead to rights pretty much, but Mr. H saves him, and now we are fighting the swing shark. This fight is pretty bad in DS if I remember, in terms of the fact that you have to try, but that is not the case in Final Remix. It can go underwater and stuff and be really annoying. But I too am really annoying and can just go super OP with the co-op strats. Shiki just obliterates it.
By the way, in the transition from DS to mobile phones, basically everything in terms of damage got buffed for us and nerfed for the noise. So this fight, yeah, it's pretty hard in DS if you don't have a good hang of the mechanics. But here in Final Remix, you can very easily just combo it to death and not worry too much about it. It makes this version easier to speedrun in many ways, including the fast attacks, of course, and co-op mode having this unique edge against the other versions.
Don't you not have the ability to save yet?
Yeah, you can definitely save, but
okay.
that's slow.
Yeah.
This game it also has autosave, I forgot.
Yeah, this game autosaves, which is a good and bad thing. Good because if we ever lose a fight, we can immediately reload back to, it autosaves at literally every action we do. I moved too fast.
Okay, shoutouts to Reaper Creeper.
Yeah,
this is supposed to be, you move this widget thing to go into any of the 3 choices, either white, black, or the gate. You are interacting with it using the psychokinesis pin. If you move it too fast, you get called out like that.
Hello.
But you don't have to take it so slow. You can go pretty fast, so it's not that big of a problem.
Yeah, if you go too fast, the characters in game will be like, "Whoa, I must have bumped the table." And yeah, hopefully we get 2 grizzly noises here. Nope. I'm just gonna reset. Yeah, you can reset noise locations by going in and out. This is one of the most obnoxious ones. We need 2 grizzly noise symbols like that. Also, we can chain now. So at the beginning of each fight, we're at full health, but when you chain, so you fights simultaneously right after another. So this is good because it multiplies our drop rate. So whatever drop stars we have, so because we did a chain of 2, it doubles our drop rate. So not only does HP carry over between fights, but also pin usages. So Mr. Mew Lariat typically starts at what is it? It needs to charge from the beginning, but because we did a chain, it can charge in between the fights. So sometimes I will deliberately just use a pin up completely, so by the time the next fight in the chain starts, I'll have my pin usage back to full. So just a bit of strategy involved in that. So yeah, we got the 2 grizzly noise there, and we got the CD from the right, from AMX. The CD technically is not required, but it lets us clear a optional wall, which gives us access to Molco. Which is another big shopping center that has one of the most important brands, Tiger Punks. Tiger Punks just has very high attack threads. So first I need to sell to have the money, and I'm also gonna upgrade my pins. So we're replacing Shockwave with Masamune, which is another Shockwave pin. It has the same psych, but it is more powerful. It is also branded as Jupiter the Monkey, that brand. So anyways, here's Tiger Punks. We buy in a certain order for friendship gauge. Pretty much, if you see in the top left, there's a gauge.
Nice, isn't it?
And sometimes you have to buy in certain orders because you can't like overfill the gauge.
Hey man.
It's just depending on how much money you spend, you'll increase the friendship level. So anyways, we bought a lot of good stuff. All of which Shiki can wear because she has high bravery. Neku can only wear the knit casquette right now, but Shiki can wear the con biker jacket, purple sneaks, and spiked choker. So we are going into a 3-chain here. We have to fight 3 fights to progress the story. So one thing to note, again with oh, that's fun. So that means I'm doing half damage because Jupiter the Monkey is the weakest brand. So that's nice. Shiki, all of her moves are unbranded, so she's unaffected because she's OP. But yeah, also Murasame is another pin we equipped up here. That gives me Vulcan Uppercut, which is this move when I slash up. It's not good, but we need it for... We need it to be at level 3 for an optional wall. It will just be very nice to have. Anyways, after this fight, I will have to feed Neku his first vanilla soft serve because he has the bravery for that. Well, because he finished that, and he'll have the bravery to wear the spiked choker, but not the purple sneaks, which is fine. But anyways, then we'll be going right into another 3-chain. Shiki will also be better because she'll get the sticker gauge extender, so pretty much she gets more usages for all of her moves. And finally, with this massive introduction, we can hear some donations. So shout if you want to go for like 3 or 4, please go ahead.
I've got you covered. Let's go ahead and start off with Teddy again, sending in $5. Attention all Yoctograms. I'm here to start a $5 donation train. Crunch. Add your donation to the heap. Speaking of $5 donations, here's one from Osmorn. Let's go Kuro. I'm so excited to see my boy Kuro up on the GDQ stage. I've gotten the privilege of getting to know him in the past year, and I'm so proud to see him at AGDQ 2023. He puts his all and has immense passion for what he does, and you're going to love this run he has. All the love in the world to you, Kuro. You deserve it.
Thank you, Oz.
I've also got a $50 donation from Lauren M. Crown. The World Ends With You is a more important game to me than I can express, and I'm so excited to finally see it in a GDQ. Can't wait to see what kind of transformation the game does from casual to speedrun. I'm sure it will be quite the revelation and kill the itch I've had since playing it. I can't wait to spend 3 minutes clapping once you become a Shibuya survivor. Here's to hoping you hear your calling and don't get into any twisters. Greetings from Japan.
Those are all song titles from the game, and those are really good puns.
Some Neo ones in there as well.
Yeah,
we're not
Kill the
gonna
Itch.
hear them here, but shout out to Neo.
Yeah, this game has a sequel. You may have heard of Neo, The World Ends With You. And yeah, it is a sequel, a long-awaited sequel at that. The original TWEWY came out in 2007, and Neo came out 2021.
We waited a long time.
Anyways, we have to play Reaper Creeper here. These I and Mina, left and right respectively, are technically fighting over a boy. I is the only one doing the fighting. Mina, this is Mina. She's cool. But anyway, we have to solve their problems by playing Reaper Creeper. So they're asking questions to kind of get some insight knowledge. That's what I is trying to do. But it doesn't matter what we pick in terms of story progression. Obviously, it changes the dialogue. So white means yes, black means no, and the gate, the red one, means neither. So anyways, we solve their problems. The noise, the monsters are attracted to negativity, and that's why they're latching on to I and Mina here. So yeah, it should be noted, yellow noise are different. These are called negative noise compared to the red noise we've seen before. The yellow noise can pretty much, they're like story important, like you'll have to fight them. They aren't fixed, like they don't, oh, I killed everything. Sorry, Shiki is just too powerful even for me to keep up with what's going on. She just possesses my arm. Anyways, so that was that, and we will now meet up with the Game Master. So the Reapers have a hierarchy of sorts, and the Game Master is who runs the game for this week. So this is Yodai Higajizawa. He likes food, and this is he sends a boss noise at us. Shiki just does her stuff to it. You'll see once Lariat happens. Ideally, nothing. This Circle Pit Grizzly won't be able to do literally anything.
If you let this guy cook, he is gonna roar and then double his attack, basically. So it's pretty annoying if you don't have the stomach potential, but we do have it because Shiki as a co-op partner is just that good.
Yeah, Shiki's really good. So an important thing with this and why we have Lucky Star equipped. So with drop rate, Lucky Star up here, it's not used for combat, but it has the Psych Mother Load, which apparently increases drop rate. It is a popular belief that it increases by 4 drop stars, but that is not the case. I can confirm that because I really care about drop rate during rooting this game. And I hope it does something. It might do nothing, but anyways, here's hope. If anything, it's a good luck charm to have. I'll actually be, so day 6, I'm actually changing things up. So also, Neku gets the revelation, or he learns that he's dead. Everyone in the Reaper's game has died, and the Reaper's game acts as a second chance at life. However, to enter the Reaper's game, each player has to give up an entry fee, which is whatever is most important to that player. Neku can't remember what his entry fee was because he has no memories. Let's see, I need to change pins real quick. What do I want to do? Clear that. I don't need to sub that. Okay, sure, that's fine. Sorry, just menuing stuff. So yeah, we don't know what Shiki's is just yet, but right now she's in a bit of a funk. She's not as bubbly and talkative as she was before. It's kind of a role reversal, actually, from the beginning of the game, where Neku was the one kind of stuck in his own thoughts, not really focused on the game. So it's a role reversal kind of now of where they started. However, despite her being sad and in a funk, she still hits just as hard, so that's good. She is, yeah, still really good. Also, I don't think we, maybe I forgot to touch on this, but you'll see there's a little, like, thing on top of their heads that has a D on it and an arrow. Damn, who's left? Oh, I hate core hogs.
Yeah, the D thing is one of the status effects. Kuro has Poison Bones right now, which is a thing that has a chance to break defense down. I don't know the exact percentage, but it basically makes enemies have less defense, so you hit harder, so it's good.
Yeah, so the goal of today's mission is to advertise these red skull pins. And to do that, we need memes, and we'll have to imprint the right meme onto Makoto. Here we have to imprint Totally Gnarly.
Totally gnarly.
Yeah, the other memes we have today are Come Get Some Hot Stuff and Unreal Bro. So we'll see Unreal Bro just in a second, but first we have to do a Reaper review wall. Seeing this in English reminds me, so I used to play this game on the Japanese version. Between the languages, there's no known differences, or if there are, it's not super significant. However, I did that because I'm cheap. So between the versions, what is faster in terms of load times is digital compared to physical, like cartridge. So I only had physical cartridge in English, and I was cheap, so I decided the Japanese version was cheaper at the time to buy, so that's what I did. But for AGDQ, I kind of took this opportunity to finally just buy the English version. So that's what we're playing today. So it's weird that I'm able to read the text because I don't know Japanese. Shout out Japanese Restream, by the way.
Yep, we have Nero and I don't know that part of it. Basically, the Japanese community, as you would expect for this game, is pretty big because it's happening in Japan, in Shibuya. Nero is one of the most important runners to this version in particular. Used to hold world record and still has, I think, only final time attack at this point, which is the boss rush. He's a really, really good runner in many RPGs and a huge part of the community. And he's commentating with someone, I think, I'm blanking on the name, but they have a doujinshi event for this game in particular, an online one called Shibuya Reboot. Really, really good one. I attended it, not locally, of course. And they have a host of the radio show that they had in that particular event there. So it's kind of a community event as well there. Really lovely.
Yeah, this is actually, so these are optional fights. I do not need to be fighting here. However, I really want rare metal, which is a material pin. So it's a bit different from money. We didn't explain money. We don't get money normally. Like, we don't just like fight and then get money. We get money pins that we then have to go into the menu and sell. So a 5,000 yen pin, or right there was a 10,000 yen pin. That sells for 10,000 yen. We do that because, the game has a wallet. Neku's first wallet only can hold 99,999 yen. So you can hold more money pins than you can hold money. So it's just a feature, I guess. Anyways, we're buying the biker jacket. So that's why we had to collect rare metal. It also takes durable leather, which will be important later. It's very good. It's plus 10 attack, to non-Neku characters, but to Neku specifically, he gets plus 15. He can't wear it right now, but that will come into play. Also, good news. If you remember at the beginning of the run, I set the time to 11:08 p.m. because I wanted it to be midnight at the right time. I'm on schedule, so if you looked at the top right, it should be midnight now. Good. So that means Neku's stomach is completely refilled, and that means, actually I'll let Hirete take over here.
Yeah, shout out to my boy here, Hideki Kikuchi, for the muchas gracias coming up. Love this part. So Kuro bought both crepes and hot dogs. Crepes are another bravery item that we can use. They are more efficient than eating just a lot of ice cream. So it's the main reason he wants they reset to get the 24 bites back. And then the hot dogs are +1 attack. It's the best possible food for the entire run for attack. We could get a Definitivo chili dog, and it used to be part of one of Kuro's route, but didn't quite work out for this one in particular. So it's gonna be a very important piece of food for later. 1 point of attack is not that big of a difference, but using these bites efficiently is more important than not using them.
Yeah, so coming up, well, first of all, there are 2 Shikis, if you saw. Hopefully I was mashing fast enough where you couldn't really see that. But anyways, so there's 2 Shikis. So it turns out Shiki, her entry fee was her appearance. She was jealous of her friend Eri, who is now the appearance that she has right now. So this is not what Shiki looks like in the real world. So yeah, it turns out she was jealous and didn't like who she was. More on that after these fights. So I have a bit of a weird pin setup right now. And that is to account for the fights we're about to do with the red skull pin. So as we talked about before, we can influence what brands are number 1. Fine. Should've gone bird. This will be fine. So anyway, the red skull pin is bad. It's intentionally bad. It reduces Neku's movement speed. As you can see, I'm like barely moving anywhere. And that's not good. Because it's weird that I took that one. So yeah, I can't move, so Neku's not really useful. Not really like he ever was. I mean, we're relying on Shiki a lot. But this is just, he has ranged pins just to help him out a bit. This is actually a new thing. We didn't used to do Thunderbolt, for instance, but that's just something I implemented very recently. And yeah, we only have to do 3 fights, but I'm doing 4 here. That's to maximize my drop rate, so when we fight a bird, it'll work out well. Just so like it maximizes the drop chance for it to drop rare metal. And also it's important for the digestion route that I made. Just doing this extra fight here it works out really well. So crepes have 8 bites as opposed to the vanilla soft serves 5. Just by the way. So instead of having 6, whoops. Please, wolf. So instead of eating 6 vanilla soft serves, we will only eat 3 crepes before we get to our next food. So yeah, that was that fight. I wanted to get more bird noise. That was like the small symbol, but it didn't work out. But anyway, now we have to do a 3-chain up here. There's no birds here, so there's nothing really to talk about. So shout if you got donations. Let's hear 2 or 3 of them.
I got you covered all day. And just a quick reminder to everybody listening, we're still trying to get an incentive met for our next game to get Boomerang X over into the no shields category. We've still got about $7,400 to go on that. So as you're putting in your donations, gamesdonequick.com/donate, make sure you're hitting that incentive button at the bottom of the page and get your donation towards that. For this run, I've got a $50 donation here from Brad Harmar. Gotta show some love to The World Ends With You, one of my favorite games no matter what version you play. It's great to see it on the GDQ main stage. Kuro is going to crush this run, and I have to ask my chat's favorite TWEWY question. How's my aim? How's my aim? How's my aim?
Oh, we will see how our aim is later.
One more real quick.
Yep.
$50 from Evo Circuit. I have to donate for The World Ends With You, one of my favorite games ever. Good luck to the runner.
All right, so we're finishing up these fights, and that'll be the last fight for today. There's no boss fight for today. But yeah, we finished off. So so first of all, the dialogue and writing in this game is incredible. So I'm just gonna give a little like Spark Notes thing. So Neku kind of wakes Shiki up from her kind of despair and just her identity crisis, and just kind of like just asks, "Who are you?" and just kind of tells her that Shiki is Shiki, and there's no point in trying to be like someone else. Like there's only things that you can offer. And in a way, and throughout the story, so Neku was without memories, and Shiki was without her identity. So both of them were trying to figure out their identity throughout this week in very different ways. And it's just a very beautiful scene. Like I can't do it justice just talking about it. And it just goes to show that you can't solve your problems by yourself. You need to rely on other people's power in order to make it through. So yeah, screw that message. We're gonna make Neku really powerful. Yeah.
It's time.
It's time. So this route, this is where it really diverges from what it was used before. So if you saw us run at like RPG Limit Break or Speed Stuff for Trans Lives, this is now very, or wait, no, it was what was run in Speed Stuff for Trans Lives.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Brooke. The only other active runner. Yeah, ESA, that's what I was trying to think of by Punchy. So yeah, this is now very different. So I call this route Lasso. It's an acronym. And right now we're getting the O part of it. This pin called One Stroke Vast Wealth. It's Final Remix. It's a late game pin, but we gained it early in Final Remix thanks to that purple guy over there. I keep forgetting I don't have money. So anyway, what I need to do is we're gonna be using a lot of fusions, and we're going to have to make sure I have everything. Yeah, we're gonna be using a lot of fusion. Yeah, and we're taking off all their threads. Wait, did I not feed Neku? Ooh, I forgot to feed Neku.
That's
well, I'm gonna think on that. Arete, can you explain what One Stroke Vast Wealth?
Yeah, so One Stroke Vast Wealth is one of the, let's call it, best tags in the entire game, which is boss rounds. Every single pin has a hidden efficiency percentage, and boss rounds is probably the highest one of the usable ones that we can use. It's a whole pin, which is honestly very hard, but we'll get to that for this version. It shoots a very strong projectile that can one-shot many things if we have the correct setup. And unfortunately, as we said, it's supposed to be endgame, but this encounter added in Final Remix, that is one of the 3 encounters that you need to unlock the special chapter, Final Day, or a New Day, whatever.
It's a new day, yeah.
Yeah, that connects to Neo the World Ends With You. In this case, this encounter has these hawks. Core hawks, I think, are the correct name. These blue ones. In normal, they drop One Stroke as well, which is very good. But it's also a really low drop rate. So
it's
what
0.9% at base.
Core wants to be at the lowest possible level that he can right now, and then use these fusion attacks to increase the drop rate as well. As you can see, the multiplier here is attack and drop, and it actually stacks. If you use more than one in a single fight, it stacks this multiplier, and then you can easily get extra drops with that. And by easily I mean we expect at least one if everything goes right. But yeah, you're gonna see very slow attack here, so we can build this 100% and get more of that. It's the only reason we have Psychokinesis active, so we can damage them, but not too much, and try to get as much drop rate as possible, and try to get this cool pin. The important thing about this pin is that we can get 2, and we can equip 2. There's some very specific limitations, which can be very weird to build around, but having 2 of them makes the run extremely fast. Having 1 of them is good enough. I think we got 1?
You can't really tell, but we saw a blue pin, and that means we got the normal drop, and that means we got at least 1, but we'll see. Really no way of
make or
telling
break
until
the
later.
entire run, so it's very important that we get at least 1.
Yeah, so I messed up the digestion. I thought I fed Neku a crepe yesterday, but I did not. So we're gonna be down a crepe. Oh wait, no, I actually have a lot of extra. This actually might be fine. This is only thanks to the crepe route. It's just a way more efficient thing. Also, I wasn't really paying attention to what I got, so.
Just check it on the menu, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hey, we got 2.
Hey,
Nice.
2!
Yay! It's also possible we would have gone the evolved form of Love Me Tether, this thing in my 4th slot right now. But that's fine. We've been training it up in the event that it wasn't. So everything's fine.
Love Me Tether is that chain that you've seen. It's one of the best pins in the game, honestly. I think everyone can agree on that. It goes the entire screen, it can multi-hit and stunlock enemies. And the evolved version has 2 or 3. I don't remember the actual number, but it's really, really good. And as freeform as this route is for extra pins, as long as you have the 1 or 2 one-stroke as well. Usually, most people tend to use this Love Me Tether or Evolution, precisely because it's so easy to slap in any single deck. There's so many options in general. If you ever play this game, you're gonna have a completely different deck from anybody else that played it. It has a lot of customization in that way. But it's a speedrun. We are gonna use the strongest thing, which is not easy to use, by the way. I mentioned that just passingly earlier. Turns out controlling this game is kinda hard. The cursor is very sensitive, and any hold pin takes a lot of willpower to properly use. Kuro is using sensitivity 1, aka the lowest possible one, because at 5, even if you can execute some other things easier, holding your pointer just steady enough so you can fire these beams is really, really, really hard. Like, controlling 2 characters is already hard enough. Mashing in a Joy-Con is already hard enough. Shooting this consistently is just amazing. No.
Yeah, so this was known about. Like, people knew about one-stroke fast wealth, or just burst round pins in general. In the DS game, they are very important. They're used a lot. But it's just so hard to control that that people wrote it off as like, it's so hard to control, like literally like no damage will be dealt. But yeah, so I've just kind of Brooke and I being the 2 active runners right now, we've rose to the challenge to try and use this pin, and it's very much worth it, especially later on. So this is Cornix Canor. This is another boss. It's a big bird. We didn't mention before, but birds suck. I don't like birds. These birds. I like birds in general. I just don't like the Decadravens and their brethren in noise form. So I'm trying to get a fast cycle. Okay. Yeah, I messed up. Okay. So anyways, it's possible to kill it with just one-stroke fast wealth, but traditionally you would use a fusion. It's barely on screen. It'll go above you to drop things on you, so it's just used a fusion here just to get rid of it. Of course, if I got fast Cornix, I wouldn't have to do a fusion, so that'd save about like 30 seconds, but that's fine. Fast Cornix is really hard to do, because you need to quickly set things up. You need to set the card to the bottom right to manipulate Cornix to be in that position, to be low enough and slow down enough. And then you need to have your hand steady enough to hit it, and its hitbox is really weird.
Thankfully, the devs know that it's gonna be on screen for 5 seconds at most every minute, so they give him very low HP. So you just force him down like that in case you don't get the quick kill as normal.
Yeah, so this is day 7, the final day of the Reapers game, because the Reapers game is 1 week long. Yep. So, I guess we're gonna have to say our goodbyes soon to the GDQ stage. Yep.
2 hours underestimate. We did it. We can fix the marathon.
Wow, that's crazy. So this is the final boss. Well, yeah, all right, sure, yeah, we'll continue with the bit. This is the final boss, Ovis Cantus. He's actually really hard, so I made sure I wasn't on level 1 because I do want some HP, because he can mess you up if you don't respect his moves. He has something that'll absorb your pins if you aim at him. Shiki's unaffected because, you know, co-op partner being OP.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention it. Co-op partners are invincible.
Yeah, co-op partners are invincible. So yeah, 1-stroke fast weld, we are cleaning through this health bar. Also, it should be noted that the yellow part of boss HP bars account for 75% of their total HP, and the green part is the remaining 25. Okay, oh wait, this is... We don't want to see the lightning attack, which is this one. Hopefully I can kill him before, yeah. That can really mess you up. It deals a lot of damage, and it can make you immobile. And so that means Neku can't do anything, so he's just susceptible to attack. But yeah, that was the end of the Reapers game. Not the end of this game, though, unfortunately. We still have a ways to go if you look at that there estimate. So yeah, we have to say goodbye to Shiki, and we also have to say goodbye to Mr. Mew. However, you don't have to say goodbye to Mr. Mew. If you donate a minimum of $25, you'll be entered for the prize to win your own Mr. Mew. Not that specific one. That one was from the Square Enix store. The one and the prizes here for GDQ is from Pincushion Cat Plushies, if I remember correctly. And you also have to say goodbye to Shiki, because the Shiki doll is a $10 minimum, I think. I don't know. If you, the $25 minimum, or the $25 bid will put you in for everything in this block from Mega Man ZX to Skyward Sword. So definitely check those out. But yeah, this is week 2. We've got another week to go through. So we got rid of Mr. Mew. We don't have him anymore, so Neku needs to find a partner. And that is Yoshiya Kiryu, or Joshua. He just,
us, really.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite. So yeah, right now we don't have his co-op mode unlocked yet, so I just have to
Have fun, Neku.
do this real quick. Just, yeah. I'm trying to keep my hands steady as possible to take out all the crabs. Also, new species of noise this week. It's a bit different from week 1. And yeah, so this is Joshua. We'll miss Shiki. We no longer have her lariat, which is very sad. Joshua's a pretty capable fighter. Not as good as Shiki, in my opinion, but he's still all right. In single player mode, he sucks to use because to activate his pin, it's slash downwards, and you're expected to do that multiple times, like consecutively. However, in co-op mode, it's just tapping, so that's a lot better. Anyways, I'm going to re-equip Poison Bones, wherever that may be, and give Joshua clothes. So we actually made sure that Shiki did not keep any clothes that we wanted to keep for ourselves later. Okay. This is a bit of a weird digestion route because I forgot. Hopefully it shouldn't be that much of an issue. So yeah, this is we're being introduced to Joshua's movesets. So he has telekinesis where he can drop obstacles. That's his single player thing. But instead of slash down, it's just tap, which is very nice. He has higher telekinesis where he just it's a really big ranged attack. When you slash across him, it's that. And he also has wheeled telekinesis that lets him move enemies and objects around. Wheeled telekinesis isn't very good. We like won't use it unless Joshua literally can't do anything else. But yeah. Anyways, we're coming up to another fan favorite character, Sho Minamimoto, the math geek. And yeah, if you remember that donation talking about yoctograms as coming from him. Anyway, this is a boss fight, I guess. Yeah, if you want to consider that a boss fight or not is up to you, but yeah, so again, one stroke vast wealth, the pin we have, this is a late game pin. We're not expected to have this much power just yet. So yeah, we are introduced to Sho Minamimoto, and he also introduces hard mode. So just to explain the difficulties, we only start with normal mode. Later in the story, we unlocked easy, which we did earlier on week 1, day 3. And now we unlocked hard mode, which we'll actually use right now. So if you remember this category name, it's any % normal. So we have to use at least normal difficulty. So we're allowed to go up as we please. We do this because we want specific drops. Notably, we want the Tektites from the Decadravens. But first of all, we're going to have a bit of flashbacks to story and stuff. So shout if you want to go for a good while with donations. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, you just let me know when to wrap up. I have a $50 donation here from DJav. Really hyped to see TWEWY on GDQ. I've actually started to speedrun this game last year. I still have to beat the 4-hour barrier because Joy-Cons are Joy-Cons. And Kuro's guides have been a great help. Nice strat naming skills too. Good luck on the run. Let's be Zeta fast. I have a $100 donation from Theoretically Moss. Hey Kuro, sad I can't watch the run live, but I couldn't miss donating during my favorite carpal tunnel simulator. After going through my own cancer scare last year, I held together thanks to the speedrunning community, and I'm glad to see runners like you showing off for a good cause. So best of luck with the run. I'm cheering you on. Thank you, Moss, and thank you to everyone sending in donations. Again, 100% of your donation is going straight to PCF, so please keep them coming.
You're good to keep going for a couple if you want.
Sure. Riley J sends in $25. The World Ends With You is one of my all-time favorite games. I've played every iteration of the game starting on the DS and loved every second of it. So excited to see it on GDQ. Can't wait to see how Kuro destroys the game. Let's keep those donations coming in and beat cancer for good. And real quick, CJ Tree sends in $25. Super excited for the Boomerang X speedrun and really want to see Evandar do it with no shields. Quick update on that. We are closing the gap down to about $7,000 left to hit that incentive. So please make sure you're keeping those donations going towards that.
So it turns out that at the end of week 1, there are only 3 remaining players, that being Neku, Shiki, and Beat. However, the conductor, who's kind of like the big boss of all the Reapers, he says that only one of them is allowed to be reincarnated and brought back to life. Beat chooses to align himself with the Reapers, so he is now a Reaper, and the Reapers chose Shiki to be the one to be reincarnated because she had the highest grade. So Neku was left with the options to either, I forgot to feed Joshua, to either play the game again or join the Reapers. So he decides to play the game again. However, in doing so, I got my pins. However, playing the game again means that he needs another entry fee so his first entry fee was his memories. That's why he couldn't remember anything. So he needs a new entry fee since he's brought into the game again. And your entry fee is whatever's most important to you, and that was Shiki Mizaki. So now Neku is not fighting for only his life, but also Shiki's. So that's the stakes are high for Neku. So anyways, we are using hard mode here, so enemies are, they hit harder and they take more attacks to kill. Fortunately, one stroke fast wealth very much trivializes this. And yeah, we want Tektite. I wasn't paying attention. Was that 7? Yeah, okay. We're actually good to proceed. We need 8 or 7. That was kind of a new thing I've done with the Tektite routing, because there's another factor into this. But we'll just roll with it and see what happens with my digestion, because I'm not entirely sure myself. But coming up, so we're switching off of hard mode because we don't need any more hard mode drops right now, and we're going to encounter taboo noise. Arete, do you want to talk about that?
Yep. Taboo noise are really resistant noise in general. In the original, you would need to have the life bug on one of the 2 characters, and then you deal more damage to them. In this, of course, one screen, it changes to basically they only take real damage if you are cross comboing them. Thankfully, to balance that, they have very low health. So as long as you do decent enough cross combo, they go down very fast. We'll see more of them later in the week, but for now, this one encounter that we just go through.
So now comes I like Tin Pin. I don't know how many other people familiar with TWEWY like Tin Pin, but
Tin Pin is really, really cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Beyblade. So you take your pins against your opponents, and you try and knock each other's off the board. You have these things called whammies, which are like special moves that you can do to help save yourself and give you the offensive edge. So this is Shuto-dan, or Shooter. He teaches us about Tin Pin. As you can see, he's like a amalgamation of like all those anime protagonists, like games turned anime. However, with the story, we don't actually have to win any game of Tin Pin. The story proceeds exactly the same whether we win or lose. So yeah, we just take a 1 yen pin, just a money pin, and just throw ourselves off. It's just faster than trying to win. We can lose faster than we can win, and yeah, there's just really no point to winning in a speedrun setting. There will be one more Tin Pin fight, and we actually do want to win that one. So we'll talk more about Tin Pin there in a bit. But shout if you want to do 2 or 3 donations. Now would be a good time.
I think I can arrange that. I have good slice of pie here. $314 coming in from Mick Delta T. Longtime watcher, first-time donor. Feeling so Zeta slow today because I got sick, but that just means I get to skip work to watch my favorite DS game in Switch form. Let's defeat cancer like the Yoctogram it is. So-ka-toa. I've also got $124 in from Anonymous. Have to donate for my favorite game. Played the original back in high school and even made my graduation quote a quote from the game. Looking forward to seeing how it gets destroyed. And a $5 donation in from Tiny Tim. Hey all, donating for the awesome Kuro and The World Ends With You run. Good luck on the run, you're doing awesome. Shoutouts to the amazing Mr. Game and Shout on hosting. The host team has been fantastic this week, and I love you all. Also, hi to my fellow members of the Mod Squad. It's an honor to be with you all, keeping chat cute. Cheers. Shout out to the chat mods. Y'all are awesome.
Shout out chat mods. Shout out hosting staff. Shout out everyone. So that was day 2. So now we're on to day 3. So Shomina Miyamoto is the new game master because we took out Yodai Higashizawa last week. However, he's a bit weird. This is where he starts going AWOL, so we actually don't have a mission. So right now Joshua tricks us to go to Cat Street, which is a new area. And but first we have to deal with a wall with we have to fight 3 wolf noise. We're also going to fight an additional frog noise symbol because we want a particular drop. An upcoming wall requires a pin called Pop Pendulum, and that only drops from the green crabs that we'll see in the final fight of this chain of 4. We'll see brand bonuses in action here. So Sweet Talk Tether is number 1 right now, and we will be using that to just melt enemies. It's better than Love Me Tether. It's pre-evolve form. It's instant boot. It has 3 chains at once. and it inflicts defense break, so it's just overall a fantastic pin.
How's my aim?
They're going to another new area, which is going to be essentially the second to last, let's call it last area that we can go to as an end of a route. In case you haven't noticed, this takes place in Shibuya, and most of the places in this game are based on real places in Shibuya. Most of them are copyright-free versions, like Tower Records is TOWA instead of Tower, normal. Parco, which would be the normal name of the shopping mall, is Molko. Kalu City here as well is something else entirely. Thankfully for Neo Goldens with You, they realized that they can use this to promote the city, and it works. I want to go to Shibuya just to take pictures of everything. It's a pretty good tourism simulator, if we can call it that. But at least 104 kept the name because it's very, very iconic. It's a 109 building in real Shibuya. And Cafe is also, of course, a real place in Shibuya, as well as Miyashita Park here.
Yeah, so here we are in Cat Street, and so this is where Joshua wanted to go to. Yesterday, he wanted to go here as well. He wanted to play hooky from the mission. Yeah, we didn't actually, so because we lost in Tin Pin, we were scripted to lose in Tin Pin. We lost the mission technically, but another pair of players won, so we were all safe. So anyways, Joshua went to Mr. H, who he's friends with. Mr. H upgraded his phone to have a tracker. Joshua is tracking what he's tracking. That is what he tells us. So we don't really know what he's up to, but without a mission, we have literally nothing better to do, so Neku just kind of goes along with it. There's also another feature that we'll see tomorrow. So right now we are going to be moving away, and we will be encountering Reaper Beat for the first time. Reaper Beat, so Beat has a special op mission to attack Neku, and yeah, so he's pretty tough, but we don't need to fight him. After 30 seconds, he'll just go away. Right, if you want to talk a bit about him, I'll keep count for you.
First off, he really likes to swear like a sailor, so for the swear jar, every single time you say beat, you hear beat say the D word, I'm gonna be donating $5 myself. We are on pretty good pace for 0 right now, but that's the first one. You have to survive for 30 seconds without getting killed. If you get killed, you have to restart it. So it's not super hard. That's 2, by the way. It's not super hard to avoid everything because you can bait him very easily. 3. And you will see this fight 3 times. The third time is supposed to be the one that you can beat. And then later on in the post game, you can fight him normally. But we really don't want to try to beat him. It's not worth it. You may be able to beat the clock at some point, but yeah, you don't want to try. There's another fight like that, but we'll see it much later.
So even if you do beat him within that time period, it will play the boss kill animation, and it will also then result in a results screen, which takes up time. So even if you can beat him within the time frame, it can be slower to beat him than it is just to let him be. Coming up is going to be our first brand wall mission, where we need to make a certain brand #1 in the Scramble. We need to make Natural Puppy #1. So right now it's not. We actually have ways to tell. So we're gonna do 2 fights, I think. Okay, I'm actually fine on digestion. God, I'm so good at rooting this game. God, who rooted this game? God, incredible.
Since we don't see Natural Puppy either on the top 3 or on the post, we don't really know the position for that. But usually either 2 or 3 fights is gonna be enough. If you just strip yourself of every other brand to force that. So hopefully this works out. Natural Puppy has pretty decent attack pins, especially considering this version and how easy their input is. We have Sweet Tolketa, as we were seeing earlier, as well as some force rounds equivalents. So yeah, it's pretty easy to fight with Natural Puppy in particular. So this is a pretty nice wall to get through.
Okay, I killed everyone. Yeah, sometimes noise can hide away off screen, which is annoying, but fortunately I got them all. But yeah, Natural Puppy, we like Natural Puppy. We'll see more Natural Puppy beyond Sweet Talk Tether later. Natural Puppy is mainly known for its ranged pins, so be that entanglement, energy rounds, or force rounds like we've seen before. There's different varieties of force rounds, so Lovely Beam, what we have right now, it's like the pin force rounds. It's very, so first of all, if you see in the top right, there's some pink. That means it's Natural Puppy. There are 13 different backgrounds for the Scramble, and that it shows what is the #1 brand, which is very convenient.
Pretty much every area has 13 different backgrounds for every single brand that is on top, which is very cool, but also super unnecessary. A lot of the brand things and imitation in Shibuya is really well done in that regard. Like, there's so many small details like that.
Okay, I think I'm all set. Yeah, I think I'm good with food because I might have to do like one extra fight, but I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Things are looking good, but so again, we have no mission, and so we're just following Joshua's tracker, which brought us to this new ramen place called Shadow Ramen. So yeah, this is where we'll be for the remainder of the day. Areze, do you kind of want to explain what's going on?
Tell me who you are.
Yeah. So the guy that we held on day 6, called Makoto, nicknamed Mick. Apparently he's now a marketing genius thanks to us. So he decides to open this Shadow Ramen place. And we'll see later that he keeps giving the red cold pin, as it's apparently very popular now in Shibuya and really hard to find, which doesn't really make any sense when he's giving it away constantly. But yeah, Joshua's director thing reacted to that shop in particular, so we have to investigate that. And as a result of a new ramen shop appearing, this guy Ken Doi, and the cook for Ramen Don, is getting no clients and is getting very negative about it. So we have the mission to help him. Unfortunately, Mick has the power of influencers. We met him earlier, but we didn't really talk about it. We're gonna see AGDQ, the Prince of Inui. Essentially, this game's version of an influencer gets 100k hits in his blog every single month, which is whoa for 2007 at least. So he's gonna be used as a marketing tool here for the Shadow Ramen things that actually look pretty good with the whole stick in there. And he's the weak link. We're gonna follow him, see that he's getting pressured into doing this. He doesn't really like the ramen, and we're gonna save him to get a very cool meme, which we can use on Kendoi to end the day. It's a pretty long section of a lot of text, so again, carpal tunnel simulator.
Yeah, so if you remember, I'm mashing like this. Not great. I guess now's a good time to talk about the turbo category. So recently, a turbo category is introduced, spearheaded by Brooke, the only other active runner besides me for this game. That could change after this if anyone else wants to learn.
I do have Nero was doing attempt as well, so maybe.
Oh, Nero's doing attempts again?
Nice. At least to practice for this, we'll see.
Okay. Well, maybe there's more. So anyways, now there is a turbo category. So turbo's only useful for tech smashing. Again, this physical barrier is stupid. Like, just like I think I'm the best masher thus far for those who've played this game or speedrun this game. I think I have the fastest mashing. We've like compared like times and stuff for like certain scenes. And yeah, it's just a dumb physical barrier, and it adds like just a lot of variability of like maybe I'm just not having a good mashing day, which is just kind of dumb. So the turbo category eliminates that, and of course kind of prevents you from having to do this for 3 hours. But yeah, I don't play turbo. Maybe I will later, but at least now I don't, just for kind of like, yeah, just for right now I don't. But yeah, it is rough on the arm, definitely. So yeah, what were you gonna say, Rede?
I just want to say that obviously every single game that kind of wants to implement turbo is its own kind of worms. In this case, please empathize that to play this final remix version, you have to play on Joy-Cons. And mashing in a Joy-Con is not easy at all. So please understand
for your health, for your like your
health.
arm and hand health. If you like look at this game as like, wow, this is cool, but I like my arm and hand. Please do turbo if you're considering this game. It's on a separate board because turbo obviously does do tech smashing a lot faster. We don't know, we haven't like really compared it, but like we estimate it's about like 10 to 20 minutes worth of time save compared to my mashing, that is. Anyways, I am being an egregious rule breaker here and using easy mode. This is the one time you're allowed to use easy mode, and that's because this upcoming wall requires a drop that's only on easy. You could technically get that drop on normal mode. If you miss the chance to get a normal drop, it will then calculate the odds for the next lower difficulty. But that just adds RNG, and like we don't have any % easy or any % hard categories. This is just like the main category. So yeah, we just allow easy here just to kind of keep in the spirit of any % and just be in the game as fast as possible.
It was a community decision as well. We could have decided not to do it. So again, what's better for the game? It's better for everybody. We have a 4 chain here to get to this wall. Remember to change to normal? Did you do it?
Yeah, I did.
Just in case, because I didn't see it myself. So now we have quite a lot of time for some donations.
Have fun.
Oh, I'm definitely getting you covered there. Let's take $104 from Anonymous. Here's $104 in honor of TWEWY's famous 104 building. Some more slices of pie coming in. The Luigi guy sends in $314.15. Don't be irrational like the number pi. Carry your change, add a donation, and divide it between some of the fun donation incentives. Good advice on that, Luigi guy. And just a reminder, we're still working on that Boomerang X. We are at about $6,900 left to go there. $25 from Origami Vivian. So Katoa. It's so cool hearing donation messages from people who love this game as much as I do. Heart. And Kona.
Go ahead.
All right.
I have nothing. Yeah.
Okay. Kona with $25. Have to donate before running to work since the next game being run is my absolute favorite game, The World Ends With You. Can't wait to see the game run in a totally new way. Shout out to the runners and staff. This event is amazing. Let's go.
So yeah, that 4-chain, so it's done very quickly thanks to the power of one-stroke fast wealth. A lot of, so Neku's pretty much a turret, and it takes them like a second to charge up to then start shooting one-stroke fast wealth, or first rounds shots. So pretty much my strategy is have Neku clear one. I did not mean to enter stride. Please don't shoot Odan.
Did anyone want some more Tinpin?
Yeah, that is just some extra Tinpin you could play. We've got more Tinpin tomorrow, but anyway, yeah, so the main strategy for like big fights is Neku handles one side, Joshua handles the other. But now we have another thing. So again, we are without a mission, but now starts the mic quest. Alright, so do you want to briefly touch on what we're doing today?
Oh yeah, sure. So the detector thing told us to go to Dagawa. It's a place that Neku saw on Joshua's mind twice now. So he really wants to go there, but on the way to there, we get interrupted by 777 here and his goons, Death Jam. It's a group that they have. They lost their mic, and so we have to find it. It's a very easy investigation thing that takes quite a while to complete. You basically just go here to Molko, take some pictures with another thing that Mr. H can do, install a camera that can take pictures of the past, but only 3 a day. Why? Plot is a thing. I don't know.
Anyway, we just talked to Sota and Now, 2 other players. They were the ones who won. I don't need something now. They were the one who won the 10-pin tournament that we were supposed to win. So we're gonna buy more Musradus gear. So today is full of shopping. So we go to Musradus. We need a full outfit of Musradus branded stuff. I'm buying stuff here for the future. We're coming back for the patchy biker jacket at some point. We're buying some denim blouses. Just cheap DB stuff because there's also a DB wall coming up. As Arete was saying, Mr. H can put a camera on a flip phone that didn't have it already, I guess. Yeah, because Neku says, like, my phone doesn't even have a camera, so I guess maybe it's just like a Game Boy camera thing, you just pop into it, but anyways, it takes pictures of the past, and we'll be using that to solve this investigation. So with dialogue choices in this game, typically you just have to exhaust all of them. However, this one is special. You can just pick Got an Alibi and he'll run away, which is very good. This is the only time it happens. Other times with dialogue choices, we just have to do them all and stuff. Also, that's another thing that comes with this game and like mashing is being able to stabilize your hand in order to press the menu options. Yeah, I'm just very familiar with this game. I've been running this game for quite a while now. Not too often because again, like I can only do 1 run per day, like literally because my arm will be too tired to do any more. But of course that's because I'm doing the no turbo category, at least in the past. May change that up later. But anyways, we now have all the evidence we need to solve the case. Which I'll leave Arete to leave the big twist and stuff.
Oh yeah, so basically, the guy here, BJ, apparently phoned 777 from that phone booth because apparently it's very weird to explain. This phone booth is called the phone booth of love. If you phone someone, then they will be in love with you. That is seen actually on a scene last day, but not to 777, to Zuki, another character. But he's the most sus for this season, but apparently this guy, Tenho, the other member of Def Jam, actually was on who phoned 777 and the one who took the mic, but now he lost it. So we're gonna see what happened to the mic in just a sec, because apparently our boy, Teenage Heartthrob, Shomi Namimoto, took the mic because it's very sexy, Zeta sexy in fact. Also left the cool megaphone that he has with the sine cosine tangent,
which actually causes like a major like plot hole with the sequel, but whatever. Anyway, Reaper Beat. Same strategy. He's got some new moves, but there's swear number 5.
4, I think.
No, he did 4 the first fight.
Oh, then I'm gonna have a look here. Let's fight then.
Well, I think 6 now because he did 2.
I didn't want to relate that much, okay?
Well, that's Beat. Yeah, so whenever he does the dash across, that's when he swears. Yeah. Anyways, we'll have one more Beat fight. I've been thinking about it, and I think I'll have to do an extra fight somewhere tomorrow because I believe I have 1 bite left of the crepe. So if I treat that as if I get DB skip, well, first I need to see if I get DB skip. So tomorrow I have to immediately, first I need to buy things. So what I need Neku to finish his crepes because of this upcoming food we're gonna get.
It is Shibuku. Shibuku is the general store that we're gonna see very little in the run. So every single time we go past it, it's gonna be important. It sells materials and it sells this. Bread Plus. Bread Plus is 3 bites of food, aka 3 fights for 20 extra bravery. Is the best way to get bravery, and it's gonna be very important for the late game route.
Yeah, that's how we're getting
Neku all the way up.
Yeah, that's how we're getting Neku from 15 bravery all the way to 152 by hour like 2 and like 220, I think ish. Anyways, we see Sho Minamimoto, who's kind of been AWOL lately, and he's drawing a sigil. That will be important later. Anyways, one more shopping today. The shopping continues into tomorrow, but we stop here at Wild Boar Utagawa to get this hat called San Francisco. The +7 attack for the hat and 25 bravery, so low bravery, just really good. It also resists immobilization. It's not that important, but it does that, so that's nice. Anyways, we scanned Joshua again. So if you remember before, the rules with the player pin is that it only works on people in the RG. You cannot scan players or Reapers. However, we've been able to scan Joshua a few times, and we get this image of Utagawa. So Neku got his memories back from winning the first game, but he doesn't remember how he dies. So yeah, he gets a scene whenever he scans Joshua, and it's this cutscene here. So every time we see this cutscene, we get to see more of it. And it looks like Joshua killed him. So Neku is kind of in turmoil now, saying there's one thing he knows for sure. His partner killed him. So big plot twist.
Ooh.
Ooh. So now comes day 5. So shopping has not stopped just yet. We need to pick up camouflage from Wild Boar 10-4, which is the 104 building in-game. They shorthand call it 10-4. And also Dragon Coacher, which is the brand for the one-stroke fast wealth pin. But all that's important is picking up a Fusion Boost sticker for Joshua and a extra slot for Neku, meaning Neku will have 5 pin slots now. We'll get the 6th one later, provided I don't forget it. I hope I don't forget it. But we'll get there soon enough. So camouflage, we'll explain a bit more about it later today, but it gives 0 attack, but its ability is SOS attack boost, which will be very important later. So if you remember the root name, it's called Lasso. So we have the O part in the form of one stroke fast wealth. Just the one part of that is the O. And that's the pin that we use because it's really powerful. LAS is a set of threads. It stands for the Lapin Angelique SOS Special. And it is very important. It will give us a huge attack boost, but we'll talk more about that later. Right now, we have to do a brand wall, but instead of Natural Puppy, it's DB. Okay. So now we have to, so just to ensure DB is number 1 and there's no other like influences, we just wear DB clothing. And I'll actually take one of my one-stroke fast wealth pins. Just because DB pins aren't the best in terms of combat, at least not when it's just all of them. So we have to do this. Hopefully it won't cause too much of an issue having a Dragon Coacher pin with us. Typically shouldn't, but hopefully we can get it to number 1 in these 2 fights. It's all up to chance though, because we couldn't see if it was in the top 3 or bottom. We don't know exactly what position it is at. These are the Minks. They suck because they can just become invincible for a bit in their tornado move. And yeah, so this day is a challenge day. So we still have no missions, but we are being tested by Karya and Uzuki, 2 Reapers who we've seen before. Karya is interested in us. Oh, okay. Lost, didn't know where the other noise was.
Who's next?
So yeah, there's just a bunch of challenges. In day 3, I bought a Shio ramen, not to eat. It's just for this upcoming wall. He requires a Shio ramen, so we bought it way early in the route, just so we can move past him here. An upcoming wall will require Neku to wear all Musratus gear, which is it's like what is it? It's like the Walmart of this universe, I guess. It's just very like cheap and stuff, and looked down upon. So the Reaper who's giving us this mission is just trying to make a fool out of us, I guess.
Shout outs to DS where we use Musratus for the entire run because they are actually pretty good.
Yeah. There's just a lot of mechanical differences between the DS and just of how that combat works. Yeah. Like, especially, like, the DS is all about the light puck, which, yeah. Anyway, here's Reaper review, like a bolt from the blue. It's time for Reaper review. These answers are always the same. It's, for that one, it is top, bottom, top. And yeah, so this upcoming wall is, oh, I forgot to do my pins, but that's fine because I didn't sell stuff, so this works.
It's fine. We're approaching Team Pin, and thankfully Team Pin AI is bad enough that you can win with basically everything you want. The only hard Team Pin stuff in general is gonna be during another day, which is the post-game thing. So you can do this entirely based around Team Pin actually. And it's pretty fun, but we're not gonna see that. We're just gonna see this guy here. This people hasn't won a Team Pin ever, so he wants to challenge us to do that. You can let him win, and in post-game that gives you a secret new thread called the secret report. But this time we want to win for a special pin.
Right. He's like actually being competent, which is scary. Okay, never mind. He threw himself off. All right. And he threw himself off again. All right. Well, he was kind of dangerous. All right. Well, that ended up being a pretty fine fight, but yeah, that was Tenho. That was one of the Reapers yesterday. He was part of the band. Anyways, we got Tin Pin Thrift, which is really good. We'll explain that at the boss at the end of today. Wait a second. Did I feed Neku? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually gonna try and win against Beat here as my extra fight because I need one extra fight. So
Have fun, Neku.
we'll see how that goes.
Would you be able to beat the clock? It's honestly very hard. Also, this fight is supposed to be a gimmick fight in DS with the DS microphone. Of course, Switch doesn't have microphone, so in this case, you scratch to bring out these pins. It's not as gimmicky, but it makes it way easier.
I could scream, but it won't benefit anything in game, so I'll just not do that right now. So yeah, that's these. So yeah, we were forced to wear those pins for that battle, and yeah. So now Karya, he finds what he needs to find, and it'll lead to a big reveal later today. Anyways, we're going to Cat Street because Mr. H forgot to put a camera on Neku's phone, so which is why we had to come back and do that. Okay, I'm just planning out my what I'm gonna wear for this Beat fight. Typically we don't fight Beat, but it'll be fun if I beat him. So let's do it.
This has to be done in under 30 seconds or else it just transitions to the next dialogue.
Yeah, so if I didn't have to fight Beat, I would have kept my unbranded deck, the pin that I was using for Tin Pin. I use that deck specifically because it's good at Tin Pin. It has the whammies that I want. And it also leads to a stun lock on Beat. You're able to stun lock him with Force Rounds and Psychokinesis, the pins. So now I'm going to try and beat him. I'm not equipping Tin Pin Thrift because I'd rather have my health and I don't want to die. So we'll see how this fight goes. I'm gonna just try and stun lock him as much as I can while throwing burst rounds at him in between. I am on a timer. If I fail, it's not a huge deal. All right, fun. Oh yeah, he has a projectile now, so that's cool. All right, things are not going great. Okay, close. Oh, I get it. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So this would, so I did it within the time. If I didn't do it in time, it would fade out. However, doing this, I have to do an extra fight because of the digestion route. I didn't do it right because I forgot a whole 8 fights of digestion. But fortunately, the crepe route makes it a lot more lenient for me to make such a big mistake. So that's cool. In order for a fight to count towards your bites, you have to make it to a results screen. So those previous times we saw beat, because it wasn't a results screen, the battle didn't end normally, and thus it didn't count towards our bites. However, since I did beat there, it did count towards my digestion, which was cool. I didn't prepare for that, so I'm glad I was able to beat him. That just saves me for doing another fight later on. So we're taking a detour here. This is also very different. This is also a very new thing. I actually figured this out when I was making the route for this submission video for GDQ. I just thought about this. We're picking up Patchy Biker Jacket, so I went out of my way to have enough materials to get it. So the Biker Jacket we had before was plus 10 attack or plus 15 attack if you're Neku. However, Patchy Biker Jacket has an effective plus 21 attack for everyone, which is very nice. I'm gonna equip Good Pins again, and we will equip Tin Pin Thrift. Or do you want to start talking what Tin Pin Thrift does for us and just SOS damage?
It's gonna be very, very important. Tin Pin Thrift is an effective pin. If you have it equipped, you are gonna get a lot of damage right away in any single pin. With the big problem that you start at 25% health, which is what we call SOS range. When you're in SOS, the screen is gonna, not the screen, but just the health bar is gonna flash red, and you're gonna hear the titi like it was a Pokemon in low health. And in SOS, any threat that has some sort of extra effect on SOS, like the camouflage that we have equipped now, is gonna activate. So we can use this to force ourselves to be in SOS range and get all those benefits right away. And as long as we don't get hit too much, which is honestly not that hard, you can use that to get a huge damage boost. And it's gonna be very obvious to see here because this guy is supposed to be impossible to beat. Like, you're supposed to lose this fight, but with one stroke as well and all that damage boost, it becomes super easy.
Yeah, it should be noted in one of my world records, I actually died in that fight. I don't know how. Like, I wasn't even nervous. I just couldn't get one stroke Vast Wealth to go up, and yeah, it just eventually he snuck up on me and did his big attack and killed me. Which wasn't a huge time loss because you can just restart the fight. But I mean, it was annoying. But yeah, that one has the same properties of the Reaper Beat fight, as in you don't need to beat it, you just need to stall up until a certain time, which is what was done before. Because again, if you killed it, there wouldn't be a boss kill animation, but you would have a results screen. So that would waste time as opposed to it immediately fading out back into the story. Anyways, if you saw in the cutscene, Joshua unleashed his true power, which apparently the big secret is that he's alive. He's not dead. So he has more power than everyone. So he has the ability to levitate now, which gives him an entirely new moveset. Today is a day of fights. We have to fight 3 taboo battles. Ideally only 3, and I don't mess up a menu, but we will see. So here's the first one. So Joshua levitates now, so his moveset has changed. Instead of telekinesis, he has a move called punishment. So instead of dropping obstacles, he drops beams of light like this, and it builds up to a screen wipe. He also has execution, which is this move. You can just drag around a beam between him and the cursor. It's alright. It's a multi-hit move, but it lasts very little. You could think of it like a poor man's Mr. Mew Lariat, I guess. Mr. Mew Lariat, of course, just being a lot better, but it's fine. He still has wheel telekinesis, which, you know, that's the pin that we never use. It has one use on the final fight of this day, but that's it. It's still not great. So we miss out having a higher telekinesis, which is the move where you slashed across Joshua, which is sad because I like that move, but oh well. And yeah, by the way, so in the DS game, you can switch between his grounded and levitating forms. Not in this game. He's just levitating for the rest of the time. So yeah, you don't have that moveset anymore. So today is a day of choices where we can choose to help or just move past people. For this one, we have to fight regardless of our choice, but the rest of them we will be intentionally skipping. These fights can be annoying, but that actually went well. There was 4 of those things. So all these noise have taboo defense, so they reduce damage by 75% unless you're doing a cross combo. Then you do full damage, which is very nice.
And the day that the noise become normal, they can appear if you scan, and they seek you instead of you having to touch them to start. Also, shout out to Velocity Attack. One of my favorite pins, the Go Fast pin, not great for a speedrun. Although you were doing some testing about that.
I was doing some testing. I'm not doing it today, but it could be good, like especially for the harder fights, because that does have enough flinch to disrupt the harder bosses in the game. And also you're invulnerable during it because you're dashing. But yeah, anyways, now we have to sell almost to max. We are buying 4 more Brave Pluses. So Brave Pluses are super expensive. These are the really good 3 bites plus 20 bravery foods.
I look forward to your next
Please say I did feed Neku, I want to say. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's very important now. So now I'm back on track. So that mistake I made before, I've already covered for it now. So now we're back to normal. So here we're actually going to use wheel telekinesis to bring one of the grizzlies over. And that's just because Neku, when he's using this move, if I were to move his cursor, he'd have to charge up before he starts blasting. So doing that just lets Neku shoot in a straight line, and Joshua just brings the enemy to Neku's line of fire. That's a new strat I came up with pretty recently. Yeah. So that's nice. Anyways, that was day 6, which means tomorrow is day 7. And that is the last day of the Reapers game. So, yeah, last day. For sure. But it is going to be a bit weird in terms of what we're doing. So day 7 takes place in Pork City. And Pork City has weird properties. It has 13 floors, 1 for each brand in the game. However, we will only see floors 1 and 2. On each floor, only one type of brand will work. In floor 1, that is Musratus, and in floor 2, that is D plus B. However, unbranded pins, like our starter pins, are unaffected by this restriction, so we will be using those. And also, I will not forget to eat. I need to say that out loud because in my practice, I have forgotten to eat here, and that is really bad if I forget. But there's no way I will forget because I'm talking about it out loud right now. Okay, I'm in the
like
menu.
in real life, don't forget to eat.
Don't forget to eat. Hydration break, bathroom breaks, please. Yeah, I put camouflage on Joshua. Okay, so I remembered to eat, which is very good. So each fight has 3. So each floor has 3 noise. However, you can only get 2 noise on screen at a time. However, so really only supposed to be able to do a 2-chain and then a 1-chain. However, it's still loaded in and the cursor is not bounded. So if I line up with Neku's elbow and turn, I'm able to find the other noise symbol and get a 3-chain. So now this condenses all fights into one result screen. So yeah, I'm using the unbranded deck because it's still effective in these rooms. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use one-stroke vast wealth or other fun pins we like. 10-pin thrift is unbranded, by the way.
Worth noting, by the way, this another Final Remix exclusive thing. You cannot go off screen in other versions.
Yeah, because it's a touch screen, so unless you can somehow get your finger off the screen and still have it interact. Yeah, so this is a Joy-Con exclusive tech. So anyways, the next floor will be the same exact thing. I will definitely eat because I said that out loud and I will not forget. But in the meantime, it's just going to be the same kind of fights. So shout if you got some donations for the next minute or two. Feel free.
Absolutely. I have a $25 donation here from Pumpkin Power. I'm so over the moon to see The World Ends With You being played at AGDQ. It's been my favorite video game since its release in the US. I have bought every single version of this game even. I'm just so happy more players to share in the love for this. We got this, players. Let's see. Liana S. sends in $50. Loving the TWEWY run from Kuro. Such great energy and amazing commentary. King TDN also sends in $50. The World Ends With You has such a banger of a soundtrack. And a question from the audience for you, Kuro, from Kaiju Ashley with a $25 donation. Question for the runner. Who is your favorite character and why is it Sho Minamoto?
Ooh, that's a good question. I love all the characters. I have to think if I have a favorite. It might be Beat. I just really like his character. He's very funny. But yeah, Sho is great, obviously. And you can even play as Sho Minamoto in the sequel.
Yep.
Shoutouts to Neo. Rete runs that game, actually.
Yes, we will probably not see this at many marathons because any percent is over twice as long as this. It's quite a long game, but it's a really, really good game, and I would definitely be really happy if everyone would play it as well. We've been getting a lot of donations about how important this game is to a lot of people, and it's definitely one of those cult classic games that if you play it at the right time on the DS or at this version or whatever, even the soundtrack, even the characters, whatever, it really, really touches you, and it's very important to me and to a lot of people as we're seeing. And of course, Neo was like a dream come true. I'm really happy to talk about Neo every single time because I still can't believe it exists.
Yeah. Okay, so we're... That was stupid. I didn't want to go downstairs. Okay. So anyways, in about like 10 seconds, I'm going to pass it back to you, Shout. This upcoming cutscene is called Bathroom Break. It's about 50 seconds long, and we call it that because...
Yep.
All right. I guess that's my cue. Okay, let's get caught up on some donations then. We have a $500 donation that came in. Holy cow, thank you. From Blackthorn. TWEWY is my favorite game of all time. I found it at a very rough part of my life, and it has gotten me through a lot of hard times. I'm so hyped to see it on the GDQ stage. Always be true to yourself and expand your world. I've also got a $25 donation here from Beat. Pick it up, phones, and let's get that Boomerang X incentive met. Blah! Yes, and just an update on that. We are about $6,400 left to get that Boomerang X No Shields run. That's going to change this into basically a one-hit KO situation. We have about an hour left to get that in, so please, gamesdonequick.com/donate. While you are on that page, scroll down to the bottom and click on the Add Incentives button. Choose Boomerang X No Shields, and let's get that into the marathon.
Lost a little bit of time there, but it's fine. right in time for the Shomi Namimoto boss fight, which I can explain, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So Sho turned himself into a taboo noise. Every single Reaper officer, let's call it that, is supposed to have a noise form, but this is the one that's going to be taboo. First, he's going to send some taboo noise to us. And this is pretty good because the strat for this, and the only reason we picked up level 3 fusion with Joshua, is to build up fusion and blast him with that, because for some reason Joshua's level 3 fusion in particular has the strongest multiplier in the entire game by a long margin. So if everything is done right and the game decides to collaborate with us, because that's not always the case, you can just one-shot him right there. Not quite to the 100% thing that we want. There we go. And now for the minigame. You test the cards in the correct order, with some fake outs as well, with numbers that are backwards. And in case you wanted to see what a single shot attack to kill this boss looks like, well, he said something that about being better than gravity. So we're gonna try to one-up him on that and use gravity for ourselves and drop the hacking moon on him.
Yeah. Very nice. Typically, so yeah, you can't hit Sho until he comes back down and says, "Where's your beauty?" Unfortunately, yeah, so that took longer than usual. Usually you get to 300 before he comes down, but noise weren't being exactly cooperating, so that's all right. Anyway, yeah, so that was the Game Master this week, so that's the end of the game, end of the Reapers game. We did it. Wait, what's that? It's not Minamoto with a steel chair. Joshua, look out!
You can afford to lose.
Oh.
Give up on yourself, and you give up on the world.
Give up on yourself, and you give up on this run finishing.
Well,
Because we have week 3, baby!
yeah. It is not over just yet. This is actually the final week. We're not lying to you anymore. This is the final week. So instead of counting up to day 7, it counts down. So this is the final week. But yeah, Joshua's gone, and Neku is back in the game.
Bye-bye, Joshua, my beloved.
Bye-bye. Sorry, how long was I gone for, like, between, like, the cutscene ending?
I'd say maybe 10-15 extra seconds.
Okay, it's not bad. Sorry, the door to the bathroom was closed, so I wasn't sure if my roommate was in it, so I had to run to the other one on the other side of the apartment. Anyway, so this is week 3. So we're putting back on our normal deck. So by the way, we kept our unbranded deck because it's good at generating sync. Okay, I don't need to feed yet. All right. Good, we're on track with digestion, which is really good. So anyway, this game, so pretty much what happened, so since Joshua was alive, that last game was null and void because Neku helped violate the rules because it's not meant for alive players. However, we don't have a partner, and it turns out what happened is Neku's entry fee, because he's opening up to people, and the most important thing to him was the other players. So, yeah, we don't have a partner, and if you remember, we can't fight without a partner. But wait, what's that? It's that Beat with a steel chair, but he's on our side this time. So Beat thinks this is entirely underhanded and thinks this is unfair, so he throws away his Reaper dumb and joins Neku to be his partner. Beat is really good, or maybe I just Stockholm Syndrome to think of that because we fight most bosses with him. But anyway, I like Beat, so as I said...
Beat is the strongest partner, that's for sure. Both in single player and in co-op, because he has the highest base attack in general, and because in single player, he's basically a turret. You move him, and then he auto-attacks, and very fast and very strong. In terms of the co-op moveset, he's not that interesting, but still good enough to cover many weaknesses. So yeah, Beat is a really good partner.
Yeah,
he has a big problem though.
Yeah, go ahead.
He has no bravery. Beat has 0 bravery. He doesn't have the capacity to wield any clothes. So the first thing that we're gonna do in week 3, very important, is give him that bravery through drugs.
Yeah, if you remember, I said Shiki starts with 110, Neku starts with 15, Beat starts with 5. So, however, whenever we level up, he gains bravery. So we're gonna feed the final brave pluses to both our boys. So yeah, Beat only has 21 bravery, which is not a lot. And yeah, we're going things. So it's 3 fights. So there are 2 pig noise we're gonna fight today, and yeah, that'll put us on track to finish very quickly. These pigs also drop Tektite, which is an important material for us. So yeah, Beat's moveset. So unlike Shiki and Joshua, who have like one move that's not really that great, all of Beat's moves are really good. So he has skate combo where we'll show that here. This pig's gimmick is that it turns invisible, so we're gonna make that permanent. So yeah, we have skate combo where you just drag him around, and anything in his path he'll just beat up on his own, which is very nice. He has vertical boot. If you slash up on an enemy, he will move to that enemy and kick him up in the air. Eventually, he'll add a slam to that move. And he also has grind flame, where you slash him across horizontally, and he'll fly in that direction and create flames from his trail. These have a bunch of pigs. There's only one real one, so I'm just gonna Sweet Talk Tether and hope I find it. It was one of those. I just hit them all with Sweet Talk Tether, which is very nice. So yeah, that's the last real fights today. We just have one more fight with introduction to Beat and his fusion, which we won't really see until like the very end. But anyway, yeah, that was the last like real fight. These introduction fights don't count towards your food digestion, so because there's no results screen afterwards. So because of that, yeah, it's just it'll just be a fight we have to do. So we still need to do one more fight in order to win, or to finish the Brave Plus. So that's the end of day 1. Day 2 is going to be very important. It's going to be our last main day of Oh, let's see. Actually, I think it might be, yeah, it will now be the last day of shopping because I only got 7 Tektite from those birds earlier. So I can't get Beat's final fusion, but that is a-okay. So yeah. Anyways, that woman on the right is the new game master. I might blank out. Mitsuki, I think, is her first name. Yeah, Mitsuki Konishi. Yeah, okay. I was just blanking on Mitsuki. So yeah, anyways, you'll also see this little squirrel noise on Beat's shoulder. Konishi is going to take that as Beat's entry fee for entering the game. Also, Beat lost all his Reaper abilities. So yeah, Konishi crushes it into this convenient little pin, which we'll see later. We'll learn the importance of that later, but Beat really wants this pin back. So Konishi gives us one mission, find her. It's a game of hide and seek, and we have 6 days to find her. So this entire week is just trying to locate her. So first we're gonna use hard mode for the second to last time. This time we want drops from the upcoming Reapers. Reapers are going to be very apparent later. We'll explain that more later today or tomorrow. But yeah, first we need to shop. First, I won't forget to get Neku's 6th slot because I'm talking about it right now. Good, I got it. And now we go to Wild Boar. We pick up stickers for Beat to increase his attack and fusion. And we pick up the Wild Boar pendant. Before we got the King pendant in earlier routes, but I've changed that so Beat now wears the patchy biker jacket, which overall gives him more attack. Anyways, we are into this forced encounter against these Reapers. In the game, we are now in emergency call, so the Reapers can now freely attack us. So I'm just gonna send Beat to handle one and shoot down the other. So yeah, we wanted to switch to hard because they drop money pins. and we are going to be approaching the last shop of the game. It was the first shop we went to, Lapin Angelique. So I'm gonna sell and get prepared for that. Arete, do you want to talk about what I'm getting?
First off, by the way, after this fight, we have a 10% chance in every single era transition to get a random fight, which is the biggest RNG component in the game, and I'm gonna be donating $5 for every single one we get. Hopefully, this is not an omen for this first transition, which can have a fight. Yep. And in Lapin Angelique, we're gonna do the other part of the lasso route, the Lapin Angelique SOS special. We're gonna buy a lot of things from Lapin Angelique to get the Goth Bondage Code, which is a really good thread, and that puts us in SOS from the start of the fight, which doesn't get stacked by TP3, so that's nice, and gives us a pretty huge attack boost. And also Vampire Dress, which is another thread that we can get here that gives us extra attack while in SOS. So, starting now, thanks to all of this Lapin Angelique that we're gonna be wearing, this Gothic Glorilla style that Neku is gonna rock, we're gonna have a huge damage boost from the start, as long as we are in low health, which should be every single fight because we don't want to heal. We either take the death or we destroy everything in time. Did you get the ability just in case from Vampire Dress?
I believe so. So yeah, Neku, the Vampire Dress, which is very important. That has that's the one that has 152 bravery, and that's what I needed to. That was the threshold I needed to wear that. All right, I need to feed Beat a ice cream because Patchy Biker Jacket is 45 bravery, so I need to level up twice more to get to level 19, and also he'll finish that and it'll get him to 45. So this is an interesting fight. You see my 6th pin slot. We'll be using a new pin called Octo Squeeze. Octo Squeeze is alright. It's not anything special. It doesn't do any combat thing, but it brings all enemies together. And especially for bat enemies that can move all around, it brings them all into one point, and I can shoot them down like that. So it's just very nice. That fight can spiral if you can't hit the final bat. Beat has a hard time with accuracy, and using one-stroke fast wealth is hard with Neku.
And you can see the damage boost coming into play there, and 500 attack.
Yeah, you're gonna see it in this fight as well. This is a harder version of that bat boss that we fought with Shiki. So I don't need to be as precise with Beat when he goes up to do the lights. I can just use vertical boot and I'll clear all the bats in that area. Just like that. And now watch this health bar go down. And he's dead. Yeah, so we do a lot of damage. So this is, so we didn't do this SOS bonus damage before. It was thought about, but it was just a huge bravery requirement and money requirement. So I had to buy a lot of excess stuff at Lapin Angelique. That was to increase the friendship gauge. You become friends with the shopkeepers the more yen you spend at that store. There's some more intricate mechanics with that, but generally just I had to buy things at a certain order in order to maximize or to most efficiently get to level 7 with Princess K, who was the shopkeeper there. Shout out Princess K, by the way. So yeah, anyways, so again, our one mission is to find the Game Master Konishi, so that'll be kind of what we're doing. However, Uzuki has made Game Master for the day, and she has that pin that Beat wants. However, as she's giving directions for how to win the pin off of her, Beat sneezes, so Neku can't hear what we're supposed to do today, and Beat doesn't remember. So we're supposed to be playing tag with her, but Beat thinks we need to play Reaper Creeper with this man. So we run around, and here's our first RNGeeper. Yeah. So these are random encounters. Is it really 10%? Because
I think it's 10.
Yeah.
Usually,
I don't know. I'm bad. Like I usually have bad luck with this, unfortunately.
Yeah, usually you get 4 per run. So I guess the average is just 10% overall. We're gonna do as little screen transition as possible for this sole reason. Because yeah, you can eat this, and it's about 30 seconds, I'd say, per fight. Really depends on the encounter because it changes for every single area transition and every single day, in fact. So yeah, every single time you see one of those, it's bad. In some routes, especially in DS, getting at least one of them is nice. Not 2 of them though, because you want to be digesting more stuff. But right now we're done digesting, as far as I know.
Yeah, Beat. All the required fights will be enough for Beat to finish his vanilla soft serve. So we don't need any RNGeeper fights. They're just a nuisance. And even if they do only take like 5 seconds, like in the fight, I just have to get the text in there. Then in the fight, that can just vary, and then I have to load out. They have to talk, and yeah, it's rough. I generally do not have the best luck at it. I typically get like 8, maybe double digits sometimes, but we'll see what happens today. Not today as in week 3, day 3, today as in real life day.
Yep. It can make or break a run, and it's a shame that I've lost runs in DS as well to this, but at the same time, if you get 1 or 2, hey, congrats. It's all about putting in the time to get that, I guess. Just get lucky.
Well, I got my 1 or 2, so hopefully that's it. Anyways, now we have a boss fight against Izuki. So most of the boss fights, like the major ones, happen with Beat in this final pin. So I'm very used to fighting with Beat, I'd like to think. So anyways, with our SOS attack boost, we get like 120% bonus to our attack, like after all calculations. So yeah, Izuki will go down pretty fast. Ooh, especially since I have so now I have plus 50% damage with 1 stroke fast wealth. So this should go quickly. Yeah,
it is quick. Yeah, this is one of the most stark differences between DS and Final Remix this fight. Izuki just decides to get hit here. I'm very envious of that.
Yeah, just under 4 seconds, according to the in-game timer.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so we just do a lot of damage, and so the best defense is offense. How can we get hit if the enemy isn't there, right? So we just try and beat them as fast as possible, because things could spiral, especially we'll see tomorrow and the day after. So now this is day 4. Good news, no RNGeepers. There won't be any random encounters when we cross through different screens. Bad news, it's a lot of fights. So pretty much the goal is to go left to Tower Records. That's where Karia, that guy with the lollipop, is. Unfortunately, there's a wall, and we need to have the right key pin in order to unlock it. So first, so we have a bunch of puzzle boxes that has keys in them. So this is the star box. You get hints like on the floor, like you see those exclamation points on the bottom. They're supposed to tell you what to do, but of course I know what I need to do. For the star box, it's the top left and bottom right noise symbols that I need to get. So these are pretty standard fights. And yeah, so after this, Beat will finish his vanilla soft serve, and he should have enough bravery, but that depends on my level. I'll check if I'm 19 or not after this. If I level up here, that should be good. Okay, so I should be at least 19. And that means Beat has just enough bravery to equip the Patchy Biker Jacket. So again, that's plus 21 damage, or plus 21 attack rather, to any character. Also, we'll see a mechanic here where Beat is holding the box, so we have to talk to our partner, and that only happens if we stand still. We don't see that often because you know, we're always moving. This is a speed run. I give Beat a hot dog just cause, and we will finally put Poison Bones into retirement. That was the one that inflicted defense break on enemies. It doesn't affect bosses, and it will actually be detrimental in some boss fights. So we will have to say goodbye to it. We replaced it with Casual Pendulum. It's like Force Rounds, but it's like a boomerang. This one we have to fight 4 Grizzly Noise. One of them is off screen, but fortunately I can snag it. And now this is a 4 chain fight instead of a 3 chain fight, and not 1. Also, I have half damage with 1 stroke fast wealth, which is fun.
And also, if you see that hook there, the blue one, that's the one that we fought in week 1, so we wouldn't have 1 stroke fast wealth until now in a normal playthrough.
And it's a base 0.9% drop, so pretty rare if we were to get it. Anyways, so yeah, now would be a great time for donations. We just have some more fights. We have this 4 chain and then some other fights afterwards.
All right, awesome. I'm going to kick it off with a $50 donation from Zucker Barely. I heard One Hit KO run, sign me up. And that is a reminder, we're still working to get that Boomerang X no shields incentive met. I just saw it tick up a bit, but we still have about $5,800 left to go on that, and only about an hour left before that run starts. So if you want to see that, please get those donations in toward that incentive. I've got a $10 donation here from Brooke. Hey, Kuro and Haret, you're destroying this game in commentary. I'm so proud of how far you've come since starting to run this game and the routing improvement that have come because of you. The whole TWEWY community is awesome. Much love to everyone. Good luck to all the runners and staff.
Thank you, Brooke.
Shout out to Brooke, the turbo runner that we talked about, whatever.
That's how.
She's very nice.
And yeah, just cut in a bit before we get into more fights. So we finished these, that was the moon puzzle box. Now we go into the sun one. So now we have to go in both rooms and take out the middle noise. They're in a line, so this one there's a line of 4. So I do the middle 2, then I'll go in the other room and fight 1. So shout if you got like 4 more donations, that would be great.
All right, let's do it. Grit and Powerful sends in $50. Had to donate during one of my favorite games of all time, The World Ends With You. Few games match the story intensity, musical identity, and brain-crushing mechanics all in one package. Good luck.
We up for this?
SOR3 sends in $50 as well. I remember getting an original copy of The World Ends With You for Christmas when it first came out. I played it so much as a kid, and it quickly grew to become one of my favorite games of all time. I'm so happy that I was able to wake up on time to catch this run and watch my favorite game get destroyed. Good luck to all the runners, and don't get lost in the noise. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. $25 in from Sam Leonhardt. This game is my favorite of all time and one of the best games in my opinion. My best friend introduced me to this back in high school, and it helped shape how I see the world. Good luck with the run, Kuro. And everyone remember, the world ends with you. If you want to enjoy life, expand your world. You've got to push your horizons out as far as they'll go.
That's how it's done.
And Case Block sends in $10. GDQ is awesome every year. Here is $10 because each small donation counts. Thank you all for all you are doing, and stay awesome.
Yeah, thank you all for the donations, and also for the donation bid war for the soundtrack. We've been jamming out to the original soundtrack all day long. You can find those tracks on Spotify, actually, the original versions. The remix versions, they're probably somewhere on YouTube.
And there's some of them, just not every single one, which is a shame. Missing the final secret boss in A New Day, which is an absolute jam. And you can't find it anywhere, but yeah, shout out to
Also,
that.
yeah, talking about the soundtrack, so even though it's the original soundtrack, you may have heard some tracks from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. TWEWY made an appearance there. So what it means between original and remix, some songs have two versions, some songs have got a remix version since the original, and some songs were introduced after. So this doesn't change all the songs that are played, so even though there's some like newer remixes or like Dream Drop Distance, those are still here. Anyways, here's Karya. He's like Uzuki, but unlike Uzuki, he's not threatening in terms of his offensive capabilities. However, after this will come the second hardest boss fight in the game. It is Uzuki and Karya fight you at the same time, which is very scary. This is reminiscent of like DS gameplay, of where you'd fight one on the top screen, one on the bottom screen. This is very scary stuff. So Uzuki is the problem here. Karya we can handle with ease, but Uzuki, if she gets any breathing room, she will launch attacks, and they are instant and they last a long time. So for the first third of their HP bar, it's just Uzuki. So after that, we go to Karya. I'm actually going to stall and wait to get my pin uses back. And now, hopefully, I can kill Karya before Uzuki comes back. Cool. Yeah, that fight can really go out of hand. Uzuki is just really dangerous. So Uzuki will come back when they only have a third of their health back. 14 seconds, not bad. Yeah, so Uzuki comes back when they're only at a third of it HP bar back, or only have a third HP bar left. And when Uzuki comes back, it is very scary. So I said this is the second hardest boss fight in the game. And you might be wondering, what's harder than Uzuki and Karya at the same time? Nothing, actually. It's the worst boss in this game is Uzuki and Karya. Except right now, they are going to be possessed by these red skull pins. This is their berserk forms, and they are bulkier, they hit harder, and they are a lot scarier. So, hope you remember that fight, and I hope the berserk version goes just as well. But
also, Shomi Nagimoto is back and shirtless.
Yes, sigil he made was so he could be reincarnated through taboo stuff. Okay. Sometimes I forget where to go. Sometimes I'll do day 6 movement, and then I'll just wonder why I can't go to Cat Street. Fortunately, that is not the case here. Alright, so now we have a forced battle. So the red skull pins are possessing everyone. I have what everyone is saying and thinking the same thing. I have it in my notes. I'd have to scroll down because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but they're all chanting the same kind of thing, so it's very spooky. They also speak in red, so scary. We got Playmate Beam from the last boss battle. That was a story drop. So it's just it's force rounds, but they are penetrating beams, and it's a lot of uses. So Playmate Beam is just very nice. In prior routes, we do this on hard mode because the particular Reaper we fight, the particular species of Reaper we fight here, drop a pin called Natural Puppy. And Natural Puppy is a support pin, and it grants a 20% bonus to damage for Natural Puppy branded pins. And that would be Sweet Talk Tether, which is those the chains that we throw out, and Playmate Beam. We don't do that anymore, or rather, I don't do that anymore. This is a new route, just trying to be more optimal, use less pauses to save time. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so we don't do that anymore. We just leave Octo Squeeze in the back because it's useful for one more boss fight at the very, in the last day. So yeah, it has since evolved into Vacuum Squeeze, but it works the same. This is an interesting fight because if I don't beat him fast enough, reinforcements will show up. Not the greatest level up. So because I leveled up, my HP is brought back to full, and that means I am taken out of SOS. Meaning all my damage bonuses that I have from Tin Pin Thrift in my clothing deactivates. Fortunately, that's really not going to be an issue anymore. You don't level up during boss fights, and I won't have to chain anymore, so it's not going to be as bad. I'll typically always be in SOS. Anyways, here we are in Utagawa. So again, we're trying to find Konishi. Still have not found her yet. We're taking a day in the past, and it's Coffee Dad, who we haven't seen in a while. But yeah, so now we have Izuki and Karya again, but they are harder. So same deal. Step 1, handle Izuki. Step 2, kind of stall on Karya and shoot him down. And if that doesn't work, then panic. So let's see how it goes. So start with a vertical boot, and then just keep launching with Neku. Wait till Karya comes back. I'm going to stall to get my uses back. All right, that should be good. And here's hoping my hand is steady enough. Okay, good. Izuki did not get a shot off. Yeah, it's a bit hard to describe. Izuki just has a bunch of multi-hit moves that last a year and can also inflict me with defense break. So, not fun stuff. If I did have to panic, I would just run with Neku. I would not have enough time to stand still and shoot him down with burst rounds. I would have to quickly use my natural puppy pins and rely on Beat. Beat is invincible. He does not take damage, so I just rely on him while I just move around with Neku. Anyways, this is day 6, the day of no fights. There are no required fights today that we have to win. Keywords there, have to win. So anyways, we have to move a lot of screens, and that of course can lead to RNGpers. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see how it goes. We gotta go to Cat Street and then double back. So shout if you got donations, feel free to go off.
Absolutely, I always got you covered. Let's start with $25 in from Calliope's. The World Ends With You is one of my favorite games, and it has been amazing to watch Kuro absolutely crush it, all while explaining the lore, tech, and mechanics, some of which I didn't even understand while playing the game. Keep it up, Kuro. And if you're hearing this and haven't played the game, this is your sign to check out TWEWY. James Blonde also sends in $25. Had to donate during TWEWY. Keep going, Zeta fast. Chicory sent in $30. I'm another big TWEWY fan, and I've been thrilled to see all of the love for this game. Good luck on the rest of the run, Kuro. Don't let limits slow you. Gzeko sent in $150. I'm a first-time donator, long-time lurker. Thank you so much for holding these events. They mean so much and make such a difference. Thank you for that donation. Thank you to everybody who's joining us for the first time and donating. $25 in from Katie. So very excited to see TWEWY at GDQ. This game is an absolute gem, full of flavor, color, and one of the best soundtracks in video game history. A must-play if you've never checked it out. And JD Light sends in $25. I told myself back when I started watching GDQ years ago that if there was ever a run of TWEWY, I would donate during it. Because like many others, this game is incredibly important to me and my favorite game of all time. I played the original back in 2007, and it helped me through so many rough times in my life, including my mom's battle with colon cancer. Neo still feels like a fever dream. I can't believe it happened. Good luck with the rest of the run. P.S. Shoutouts to Minamoto for helping me memorize trig functions. The phrase "So Katoa" has haunted my dreams for 15 years now.
Yeah, thank you for all the donations. Yeah, this game has had a huge impact on my life as well. It definitely has shaped who I am today. Yeah, it cannot be understated, just the writing and just the feeling of this game. It's truly special. I highly recommend it. If you think this game is a bit too weird, Neo is a lot more modern. And you don't need to play the first one, but like I highly recommend it.
I would definitely recommend it for reasons that I can't go into.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend it, but like, you know, it's a weird game. Anyways, I switched to hard mode and level 1. This is an act of confidence against this boss. Not that I'll win, but that I'll lose. I don't need to win this fight. He's very difficult. So I just wanted to one-shot me. Perfect. And the fight is over. He has taboo defense. He's got a lot of HP. It is rough. Also, talking about Sho, his first form has 3,141 HP. That's the first 4 digits of pi. That form of him has 5,926 HP, which is the next 4 digits of pi. So this is the last day, and we're not even pulling your chain this time. This is serious. This is the last day. I am not going to forget to switch off of hard mode because I don't want to die yet. Perfect. So in case there's RNGpers, like that one. I believe this is 5, yeah. I'm still on track to get the 8 that I normally get, so that's fun.
Yeah, this is the worst possible fight to forget to change to hardcore, or to normal rather, because this Drake here deals a lot of damage. It's been very docile for some reason though. So.
Yeah, they're generally not too bad, and also cross combos are able to flinch it, so compared to DS, it's a lot safer to fight Drakes. Alright, so that's 5. We've got 1, 2, 3 more screens that can possibly give us RNGpers. Alright, we're down to 2. Let's see. So we will enter the Shibuya River. It's going to be a very weird area, and so this is going to look like an RNGper. It's a cutscene. However, if like that kind of fast fade in happens again, then it is an RNGper, and that's bad. Okay. Well, 6. 6 is not bad. That is fine. Typically I get like 8 or 10, which is bad. Oh, I hate shrews. Get out of my face.
So it is bad. Yeah, so that's about a 3-minute time loss approximately for the entire run, which is not great, but hey.
And again, like these fights can just not happen. So these can either take a like not so good run and make it great with low RNGpers. And you remember the other RNG factors were the brand walls. You remember when we had to switch our threads and pins to be a specific brand? 1 in 13 chance, effectively, that we don't have to do that. It's already number 1. We can just go on straight ahead. Did not get that here, but again, it's pretty rare. And now we are on to the final 4 boss fights. Up first is against Konishi, the game master. So again, this entire week we've been trying to find her. She said she'll be hiding in one spot and she won't move. And we have to find her. We didn't find her, but apparently she was in she was in Beach Shadow, which I don't get like the rules. Like if you like just brought your finger and pointed all around, like eventually you'd land on Beach Shadow. So would she accept defeat? I don't know. There's a lot. TWEWY doesn't answer many questions about itself, generally, in terms of a lore perspective. But anyway, Konishi is a bit rough. Her noise form is Tigress Cantus. Oh yeah, Sho Minamimoto has a noise form, Leo Cantus.
Yep.
We just don't really
didn't
see
it in the run, I think.
But yeah, so this is Tigress Cantus. This is 4 phases of kind of annoying stuff. So the first thing is bringing a taboo noise into this void. This is why we have Vacuum Squeeze, which is the evolved form of Octo Squeeze. So we want to drag a... okay, I need to get it. Okay, so eventually a taboo noise will drop in, and when it does, she will become vulnerable and we can hit her. So that's phase 1. Now we're in phase 2. We're like in the air, I guess. Just fight Konishi. If Beat or Neku will cooperate. So this is just standard fighting. Now she will take away our pins. So Neku is pinless, but of course Beat, the co-op partner, is not affected. So Beat can beat her up while we are in her shadow. So we get Rhyme, that pin. So, oh yeah, we didn't explain. Rhyme is Beat's sister. She was the one who died to a shark in day 4, week 1. Mr. H put her into a pin, and Beat became a Reaper, so he could make her a noise form, and then there's actually a lot more we missed, but yeah. Anyway, B and Rhyme are reunited. Yay.
And Rhyme is a pretty cool pin, by the way. Very strong, really. Really high base attacks, and you can equip a deck of 6 Rhymes if you keep doing this fight, since it's a grounded drop.
Yeah, there's no restrictions on Rhyme. There's typically restrictions on pins, but Rhyme doesn't have one. Also, in Remix, they changed it where you only get a Shadow Matter and not actually Rhyme. You have to trade it. Yeah. You can still trade an infinite amount at a Shadow Ramen, but yeah. I don't know why they changed that. It doesn't make sense that they did. But anyway, now we're in Endgame. So this is the final fights. So anyways, we won the game technically. So Shiki's back. Yay! So yeah, Shiki was held hostage basically as Neku's entry fee for week 2, but she's here, so the gang's all back. Anyway, here's something. Sho Minamimoto. He was trying to reach the composer, like the big boss, and try and kill him, because whoever kills the composer becomes the new composer, I guess. So he was setting a coup or whatever, and yeah, he got beat up. And we stole his hat off his head, just cause we could.
It's actually his equipment, by the way.
Yeah, it's a really good pin, or not pin, piece of thread, but we don't use it in this route. We could. It wouldn't be that much of a drop off, but it would take a pause, so we don't. Anyway, this is Kitaniji, the 3rd hardest fight in the game. He can stop time if he wants to, like that. Cool. So yeah, this just wastes time, and he throws out a lot of attacks. He's mostly annoying he's more annoying than he is threatening, which is good. I mean, I'd much rather fight him than what is it? Suzuki and Karya. Yeah. Anyway, I was a bit too close. He did his melee attack. Fortunately, I had enough health to live, but that did a big chunk. But yeah, he can. Oh yeah, he also possessed Shiki, so she can come in as as his co-op partner and attack us, and we can't attack her in this game, which is very sad. I mean, that's really unfair. Having your co-op partner be invincible, like, I would never put anyone through that. Never.
Hey, after the fight, we got the boy.
We got it. Lightning Rook. This is objectively the best pin in the game. It's so good. It's so
They buffed it. It was already really, really good on the original, but on the transition to one screen, for some reason they buffed it to SSSSS plus tier. It deals so much damage, it pierces through, goes the entire screen. It can shred these final 2 bosses that we're gonna go through as well very easily. So it's an obvious inclusion into the pin deck.
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure in DS, like, there was an issue with how multi-hits work, so only half the hits, like, hit, but it was buffed in Remix that multi-hits hit twice as much. So, yeah, Lightning Rook is really good. I can't find the words to describe it. It's really just something you'll see. Just look at the health bar.
I can probably explain it by saying that the boss rush for this version just uses 2 of them as the main attack force and nothing else.
Yeah, by the way, typically a lot of pins you can only have, a lot of good pins you can only have 1 of in your pin deck. Not Lightning Rook, you can have 2, just like One Stroke Vast Wolf. But again, that's like pin class system, that's a lot of stuff. Anyway, these are the final 2 fights. This is the penultimate fight. Shiki's back. So this has 2 HP bars, one where Shiki's your partner and one where Beat's your partner. We don't really care about them. Our true partner is Lightning Rook. We like Lightning Rook.
Damn it.
So and yeah, especially paired with SOS damage, just melts. So yeah, we have to attack its head. Ideally, we attack its head and arms because those are individual hurt boxes. But yeah, anyway, so just kind of wait until Lightning Rook recharges and just do other stuff until that happens. This can be kind of annoying. His like colored breath attacks can inflict bad statuses. He also has an orange orb that we hopefully don't see. Oh, I just realized that we're at GDQ. Yeah, orb. There's orbs in this game. Anyways, yeah, that was that fight. So we are moving on to the final boss battle. And that is only Neku. Co-op is disabled. We'll see. So time is coming up in like a minute and a half-ish. I'll make sure we know. But yeah, so anyway, Joshua's back also. So yeah, Kitaniji steals all three of our partners. So Neku is partnerless, but we have Lightning Rook, so we're fine. There are 5 heads of Draco Cantus, all of which have its own hitbox that we can hit, so we try and hit multiple at the same time. This fight can be pretty dangerous. This was bad for me as a kid. Apparently there's a little pocket where it's like a blind spot. He just cannot, only stray shots will hit you, all the big shots will miss. So if we just go right, like right here, Neku is pretty much safe. And also when he gets to certain thresholds of HP, our partner will break out and do a fusion with us. So here is, so we do Shiki, then Beat, then Joshua. To activate those fusions, it's based on the single player action. So for Shiki, no, I got orbed.
Orb into Sword of Revealing Light?
Yeah, so anyway, that move is bad because it just takes us hostage and it plays that cutscene, which is bad. Please, okay. Sometimes Beats is hard to do. Anyways, because we're doing fusions, that heals us out of SOS, so that's kind of sad, but we still do enough damage. Goth Bondage Coat is independent of SOS, thankfully. So even though it puts us at SOS range, it gives us its own attack boost anyway.
What do you think?
Anyways, here's Joshua's fusion. So we're out of fusions. If you don't do the fusion, he'll heal instead. You could consider doing that, because if you don't do a fusion, you keep SOS. But I just don't. Typically, it's just a lot riskier, and the last thing I want to do is die. So once the green HP goes down, the screen will flash, and then we'll have to press a button. After I press that button, that's time. So I will do a countdown before time. So after the boss's HP is depleted to 0, so Lightning Rook my way. 3, 2, 1, time.
Easy.
GG.
My arm doesn't hurt as bad, thankfully, but yeah. So again, mashing, I was like mashing throughout the entire thing for dialogue. It's rough. If you want to do this game, please do turbo for your own good. If you are like me and just find like, to me, like it's like the mashing is just part of the game, and like there's skill between like mashing and like being able to do all the movements, but it's a physical barrier that doesn't need to exist in this game. So please do turbo. Yeah. That's it. There's like 11 minutes of cutscenes that we won't see in, so we'll just stick to this screen. Rete, any closing thoughts?
First off, that was just shy or just over 2 minutes behind world record, which is amazing. And second place by a long shot. Shout outs to Kuro for the amazing execution. I was world-class talent for the World Dance with you. Everyone that has donated and talking about how special this game is for them. I really hope that this showcase, that this opportunity that we got at Games Done Quick really helped you remember how good this game is and how nice it is. We have a speedrunning Discord in case you want to get on this or on the DS version, or Neo, the World Dance with you as well, if you like that. I want to shout out especially Brooke first for the donation earlier, and Nero, second place runner currently, and other possible active runner soon, who is doing commentary on the Japanese team. Arigato gozaimasu. And I want to shout out everyone who loves this game in general, I guess, again. I've been Rete, this has been Kuro. We are so happy that we got this showcase at such a big marathon. And thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah, this was incredible. I'm honored to be able to show this off to everyone. The The World Ends With You is just a very special game, just as like an RPG. It has something for everyone. The first game, of course, has weird controls, whether that be the DS version's touchscreen dual screen combat, or this game's Joy-Con controls. But I think like kind of with the game's message, just expand your horizons a bit. Like it's not going to be like every other game you've played. This game is great. Just if you give it a chance and just let yourself get lost in the world. The writing is great. There's a lot of fun with it. There's over 300 pins. You can find your own play style. You do not need to use these pins to win the game. You can win it with pretty much everything. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad I got to showcase TWEWY. There are TWEWY prizes, not this specific version of Mr. Mew plushie, but there is a Mr. Mew plushie. So look into that. Keep watching the event. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And that's it for me. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Kuro. That was an amazing run of a game that clearly means a lot to a lot of people out in the audience.